on all of the Formula One races. There's currently 3. We are on the last one? Yeah, we're finally on the last one, but then we still have to catch up for the one that's tomorrow already. So we've been watching a lot of TV and napping and just eating good food. That's pretty much been our life since Wednesday. So hope you guys had a good week. Thanks, Bonk, for all of your mod services first thing this morning. I don't know what's with Stream Elements, but it seems like it's a little bit broken. Like, my timer wouldn't work on the starting soon screen. And I couldn't bring up any of my commands, but like I can still open the browser page for Stream Elements. I don't know. But I'm not gonna stress over it. It is what it is. Bonk fixed it for us. We are good to go. Scoops, good to see you too. Mish came in first thing and she's gonna go lurk after she did her one feta complaint, which wasn't necessary because we are using feta today. 48 months with Miss Kiwi Mish. Thank you very much for being part of the kitchen crew for literally 4 years of our lives together. 4 years of feta complaints. It wouldn't be the same without it, I would say. Cookie, hope you had a good week. Same with Michael. I think that's it. We're all caught up. Cardio's done. Nice, dude. Now you're free. Free for the rest of the day. And yeah, Samo got home nice and safe on Wednesday, so that was good. He flew on a pretty cool plane as well for the first time, so that was also exciting for him. It was pretty busy though. Like, I had 5 minutes to literally drop him off at home, get changed, and then go to cook for my clients really quick. We knew it would be a little bit maybe stressful like that day, but still, everything worked out in the end, and that felt awesome. And yeah, we just have some nice like summery weather this weekend, so we thought that we would do a little bit of grilling and more summer style type of foods. We were able to find Tri Tip on sale at the store this week, so that was a very good find as far as beef goes for the grill. I know we've been talking about Tri Tip recently on stream, and yeah, they had them for $10 off the 2-pack, which is what we usually get from Costco. So that was like honestly a no-brainer because it's really good quality. Go over here for AAA beef, and it's Canadian, and yeah, honestly can't go wrong with that. Can't remember the last time we even had a Tri Tip. Maybe last year, Sam? A little sooner than that? And then something else that we did yesterday, just while we were watching the race, we thought it would be fun to just kind of test the Traeger before we used it this weekend on stream. Get it going since, yeah, it's been quite a while since we used the grills outside. I got that maintained, it's good to go, and we just cooked or smoked some pork ribs on there yesterday. It was yummy. Made me like remember how much I miss food from the smoker like that. It just has a different flavor and texture. So yummy. Just a couple months ago we did Tri Tip, right? And so we're thinking of roasting both of those off today, or like smoking / grilling, but lower temp for sure, just so that we don't risk, like anytime you turn up the Traeger, there's always a risk of it lighting on fire literally. So let's not do that. We'll just go low and slow with that. And then we are planning to take a road trip to BC on, I think we'll either leave on Tuesday or Wednesday coming up next week. So we will not be around on the weekend, next weekend for streams. At least not here in the kitchen as far as location goes, but I was thinking we might be able to stream some other spots that we stop off at along the trip that we've been to before. So stay tuned for that, but just wanted to let you guys know that we will not be around next weekend, at least not in the house. We'll be on the road with this guy right here. This one right there. You'll be away from home too. Yeah, we'll do a little road trip for sure when I see that there's good internet and some like fun things that we've done together before. But yeah, Sam's only home for a couple weeks and then he's gone again. So we're going to try to make the most of this really nice weather while we have it. Hi, Mickey. Good to see you. Thanks for Yet It Is. What you got? Oh, yeah, I have He brought some rocks home from work. I have them soaking in a little bit of soapy water back there just to get them washed up. Boris the crocodilian, got you worried thinking you missed the stream yesterday after crashing out at 7 p.m. Oh, until you saw the Discord message. Yes, yeah, often on the Fridays that he comes home, whenever it is, we'll take that day off just to get back to a little bit of normalcy because he's coming off a night shift right now. So the sleeps have been a bit weird, right? A little bit broken up. You woke up an hour or 3 later. I'll usually keep you guys all posted in Discord. That's the best place to look about what's happening for the stream for the week. You wondered where we were. We were chilling inside, guys. Okay, here's the menu for the day. Pretty simple food. We are going to prep our beef tri tip. Get that on the Traeger first thing. And the Traeger's already nice and hot, so we're good to go there. And that will take anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours. Give yourself to cook the tri tip. There is also, let's say, a hot and fast way to cook the tri tip, almost more like a steak, how you would cook it. It's just a larger portion of beef. So it takes a little bit longer than a steak, but nowhere near like the 2 to 3 hours that we're gonna do, low and slow version. So there are lots of recipes online, and you just have to choose which one that you think would work best for you. I found a really good recipe. I don't know if it's exactly what we're doing. I think it's more of a quick one, a hot and fast one, which I know is much more popular to do in the States anyways. Yeah, they cook it more like a steak. But then I also liked that they said like you can roast or grill your tri tip 4 days before you plan to serve it, because that is kind of what we're planning to do with the extras, is you can shave it nice and thin after you have it cooked the one day, and it makes amazing like sandwiches or steak salad, anything like that, if you like to eat those things. Okay, so tri tip. I'm thinking to get like some nice color on the tri tip. If we don't get that from the smoker, we can just pop it under the broiler to crisp up the fat cap a little bit. So we'll season and then let's say smoke. What's the temperature out there right now, Samo?
I think 22.
No, on the smoker. He's being hilarious right now. 180? 180 Fahrenheit, which is so low if you guys think about it. I think that's the lowest temperature most ovens go to. Let's see. Let's see what the lowest temp is. Usually it's around 180 or 200. We go down to 170 in this oven here. Hello, Island JMU. That is quite low and slow. And so I said we're going that low just so that literally zero risk of any of that fat flaring up and having a fire on the balcony where we're not even supposed to be doing any of this. Yeah. Minimize any of the risk. I'm doing good today. I had good sleeps. I went to, Samo drove me to the farmer's market this morning, got some yummy fresh veggies. And that's actually why the menu was also late getting posted in Discord this week, because I wanted to see what veggies they had at the market today to pair with what we are eating, which I was successful and was able to find these beets. A nice bag of like smaller beets, so they won't take like 5,000 hours to roast in the oven. So we will take care of those today, and we're gonna turn them into a beet salad. That was $5 for that bag of beets, which I thought was a pretty good price for what we got. Just comparing it to the prices of other vegetables just in the grocery store. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. You're gonna pray for us. Thanks. I think we'll be okay because, yeah, we smoked ribs yesterday for like 5-6 hours. I didn't even know the smoker was on. Let's just put it that way. And we got a good breeze today too, guys. Okay, so the tri-tip's gonna take the longest. And so obviously we start that first. Let's say 2 to 3 hours at 180 Fahrenheit. If you wanted to go a little bit hotter, I would go up to 225 Fahrenheit. And that way it'll still stay nice and moist. And obviously if you go hotter, it's not gonna take quite as long to cook. Okay, next one. I think the beets will be the next longest process today just to get them roasted. I've had some beets that roast up in about 30 minutes, but I've also had some beets that take over an hour to roast. So always good idea to get those prepped first, especially if you're gonna serve them as a salad. Because yeah, once you have them cooked and ready to go, it's okay if they cool off a little bit. Rather than thinking that you're gonna serve them hot, you want them ready closer to when the meat and everything else is done, right? So we'll roast the beets. I don't think that the temperature in the smoker is gonna be hot enough to roast the beets. So we should probably do them in the oven instead inside. Let's do like 375 or 400 Fahrenheit for the beets. And anywhere from, I would say like 45 minutes, you can start checking them. We'll make up a little foil pack with the beets to 1 hour. So that's the next longest cook today. And then obviously while those two things are taking their time, we can prep the other things for our meal. God, I found some good bargains at the farmer's market. Yeah, it's been good prices there lately compared to the store. Actually a lot less expensive. So that's why I try to go like either every 2 weeks, or now that Sam's home and we wanted a couple things for the road trip, we just went this week because, yeah, I would say this one is one of the better ones, but it's only on Saturdays. So it's not like we can wait and then go to one during the week. You might not find the same things, right? So as much as you don't want to get up early on a Saturday and leave the house, this is worth it. Birthday tri-tip sounds great though. Wait, is it your birthday today? Is it your birthday today? Okay, that's for the beets. And then other things for the salad for the beets. We just have some greens that are already washed. So we just have to cut them up. And we will do the kale as well because I have a little bit of kale. So we'll get that massaged. We are going to serve it with some feta cheese to go with the beets. And just some of our creamy balsamic vinaigrette that we made last week on stream.
Birthday!
So we have some of this here still. We'll just mix that up. That was for our creamy balsamic. You almost forgot it was your own birthday. That's funny when that happens. Yeah, happy birthday, Lily. That's exciting. Are you doing anything fun today for it? And hi, Gearbox Man. Welcome, welcome. We're just going over what we're doing today. Then we're gonna get started. And then always we like to do fresh herbs with the beet salad. So I know I have mint. I picked up a nice bunch of fresh dill today for everything we're making, because that really does make a difference in the summer. And then maybe just a little bit of green onion will be good for all that. Okay, and then lastly, one of my favorite potato recipes for the summer, and yes, it's very Ukrainian, but the first time that I made it for Sam, he's like kind of been obsessed with it ever since. It is so yummy. So definitely check out that recipe we have linked for the Ukrainian dill potatoes. And it is good to make it at this time of the season if you're in North America, because we're just starting to get those, what they call new potatoes out of the ground. So that's the first harvest of potatoes for the year. And that also usually means that the skin is quite thin on those potatoes, so you don't have to peel them. You can use the whole thing. And it's really good in a dish to make like this, where you just kind of boil the potatoes in pieces and then dress them afterwards. So yummy. And quite simple for the ingredients. So obviously our potatoes, if you call them dill potatoes, we obviously need dill. And then you just need a little bit of butter and cream and salt and pepper, and that's it. Really, really simple. I made these recently for my clients with, what was it? Maybe the salmon that I did? Yeah, I did like a baked roasted salmon or a pan-seared salmon with these creamy dill potatoes. So delicious. You had your birthday almost a month ago. Did you do anything fun for your birthday? Okay, that's it, guys. I think we're there. And then I'll just say at the end, like, sear the tri-tip. And we're good to go. And we'll pop on the pork shoulder and get that prepped too after the tri-tip. And everything can just be on the smoker at one time. And yeah, we'll go to the smoker together, guys. I got the other camera set up. Have some fun today. Okay, let's get these meats going. Yeah, Samo came home on Wednesday, guys, and then we were napping yesterday. And then we woke up from the nap, like, just a little bit after dinner time, to our roommate coming home at the same time. So that was like a surprise. It's like, holy shit, everyone's home at one time for once in our lives. Surprise. When you think you're home alone and then you hear the TV on, I actually got scared. I was like, who is in the house right now? Went out to lunch with your Sunday school class and the teacher came for dinner. That sounds fun. That's what I like to do for my birthdays. Eat good food with awesome people. It doesn't take much, right? Let's get into this. I think we'll just prep it on a sheet pan to take out to the smoker. So we'll get it trimmed up a little bit. And then we'll rub it with some Dijon mustard and some seasonings. And then onto the grill. I'm gonna open this up in the sink because it looks a little juicy. And yeah, the only real treat meal that we've had at home so far since Sam got back was just burgers on the first day, on the Wednesday. After I came home from my little job, we went back out and just had some burgers. That's what we were both craving. But since then, we've just been eating food at home. And so I got these 2 tri-tips for, what was the price here? $44 for 2 massive pieces of beef. Can't really beat that price right now considering the 4 steaks, which was definitely not nearly as much as this. The 4 steaks we got on sale last week was $60. Okay, so we could also see that this one is a bit smaller and then there's usually a bigger one. So all I'm looking for is, yeah, stuff like this, where it's really like stringy looking, not nice, firm fat or tallow. And you want to clean that off because that's not going to render out or anything. You just don't need it on there for the smoker. I think I might have to put this boning knife on the steel. Looks a little bit bloody up there. We might clean that out too. But we'll hang on to this because you can still put it into beef stock. We just don't need that part on the smoker. Yeah, we're going to clean that. See how it's like really floppy like that? To kind of even up the edges. That's the funky fat. It also does, yeah, that's a good way to put it, Bonk, is like it's got a little bit of that funky flavor, quite strong beef flavor. It's okay to leave a little bit of a fat cap on just to keep things moist while it's cooking, especially low and slow, because we could always trim it off after. But we really don't need more than about 1/2 inch thick. You can see how we keep cleaning it away, and it's getting actually less stringy. And I will also say, to leave some of this fat cap on is actually really yummy. When it does start to render out a bit, it gets nice and like crispy, and it does taste really good. So if you're kind of picky about fat on meat, like I am, I usually like to leave that on. It's nice and unctuous. And yeah, we'll flip it over. You can see a little bit of connective tissue here, just where things look more silver. That's why they call it the silver skin. We just want to clean those small pieces off, and then we are good to go. So the other nice thing I guess we could say about getting a tri-tip is there's not a lot of trimming for how big the piece of meat is. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get it prepped to cook. It really reminds me of just like a miniature sort of brisket. Even with how it cooks and the flavor at the end as well. Like if you don't want to commit to a huge brisket, try out a tri-tip instead. And yeah, we haven't gotten these at our Costco, at least our location, for a bit, so I was happy to find that, because my bro said he's been able to find some by the location near his house. Like, what were some of the other prices, Sam? I didn't really see when we were there, but this was definitely the best option still, I think, for the price for what you get. Nice. Okay, just a little bit more up this area. Someone nicked it right there, you could see. You can also see where the two muscles sort of separate there. Do you see that line? So that will slowly cook down though. If you cooked it a bit hotter and faster, it might stay a bit more chewy, like the gristle in a steak. Do a little bit up here I missed. I'm gonna trim this. You see that fatty flap there? Now that we see where it ends, we can trim that part off. That's good. I'm gonna leave that little bit of like internal fat there, and then just this little bit here at the tip. So then you can also see how the tri-tip muscle tapers near this end here. So you will get a good mix of more well-done pieces of beef, as well as up here where it gets really thick, you can get some more like rare pieces or medium rare, right? So it's good for feeding a crowd as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think we're gonna leave the rest on that. Let's switch this out. Put it up there. So you can see here where they clean some of the fat cap away. So you can see just how thick that part is. So that is also something that we want to be watching as we're looking at which tri-tip to buy, right? Because if we know that we got to clean a lot of the fat cap off, well, you're going to be paying for that weight. So if that's not usable to you, don't buy a tri-tip with a big fat cap. It's pretty stringy, so I'm just gonna go along this whole thing like that. Nice. It's a pretty big trim pile already. quite thick on this end. That could make some really nice render for sandwiches. Up to you. I'll trim a little bit off. That's what we were both saying too. It's like tri-tip makes some of the best leftovers. I think we've even like cubed it up before, a pre-smoked tri-tip chunk, and like made, what is that, cowboy style chili? Is that what they call it, where it's more chunky? And that was so dang good like that. So it's definitely one of the better tasting fats to leave on. Okay, I think that's good for that side. Let that kind of melt in to where it gets thinner. See what we gotta trim off here. A little bit more than the other one, that's okay. Went through one of the veins there. The city feels like a lot of people took like their 2-week vacation right around when it was Canada Day last weekend, because even today it's been quite quiet on the roads now this afternoon. It's nice. Usually it's quite busy. I'm excited to get out of the city a little bit. Go see some mountains. Was also looking up one of the things that I want to go do with Sam this round when we go to the Okanagan in BC, which is really close actually to the state's border, is there's an awesome like river that goes from one of the lakes to another lake, and you can like rent a floaty and float on it for a few hours. Take some snacks and drinks. Just go hang out. It was really fun when I did it when I was younger. I think that would be fun to do on a hot day. Oh yeah, and the Euro's on right now as well still. So I bet actually there's probably a bunch of people in the sports bars. They're watching the cup. Okay, almost done there. I'll flip this around, start working on this side. You could see all of the silver. You're not really into footy, Mickey? That's like me. Like, I grew up playing it for basically all of my youth. And, like, competitive, right? Like, 6-7 days a week.
Caitlin doesn't want me to use the egg, Alex.
But yeah, I don't really like watching it. Guys, we're not supposed to have the smokers on the balcony. So instead of getting kicked out of the place that we live by doing something, because like mistakes happen, right? You could be as careful as you want and still the universe will have other things in mind for you. We're definitely an egg household, just not an egg household that is gonna go against the rules of the building. Because like my name is not even on the lease. So I'm not also like getting my roommate kicked out at the same time. I hope you guys can understand. They're still on the balcony. They're just currently in a hiatus. You guys know I'll always tell the truth. I'm not scared. Honesty sometimes can be a hard thing to come by these days. But I'll always tell you what's what. What's going on, Blondie? How's your weekend going, dude? Mickey, your brother's dad loves it. Like watching football. I had a lot of friends that were into it growing up. I never got into watching it though. Just wasn't for me. Okay, I think this one is good too. We are good to go. So now we'll get out the mustard so we can get him dressed. Dress him up. I'll hold on to this boning knife just in case we need it for the pork next. And then I guess I'll also just get a container for all of our scraps from our trim. Because there might be a little bit from the pork. The lease in your complex specifically states nothing larger than a 1 gallon camp stove. So that's just like the little bottle of propane, right? Pretty sure. Washing my hands up. Yet there's people all over your building with full-size grills on the wooden balconies even. Yeah, it wouldn't take long. There's just one mistake, right? And the whole place is seriously going up. Like, I get that the fire department is only like 2 blocks away, but I'm not gonna risk it. Most of the buildings in the city are full anyway, so it's not like if you get kicked out, you can go find another awesome place to live. I'm just not gonna wreck the chances. Let's just say that. I'm gonna play it safe. I know, rare occurrence on this channel. Sometimes we gotta. What a bunch of BS. Straight up, man. I mean, take it from the person that's already had to deal with the fire department once of someone getting called on. So we already know what happens. Okay, now we're gonna use some Dijon mustard. You can also use yellow mustard too. Just something to adhere all the seasonings. Bonk, I was asking Sam, like, what do we want to season the tri-tips with for the smoker today? Obviously, he said, let's use up the Santa Maria. Said, you know what happens when you use it up? You're gonna need more. Mickey, you don't have a grill on your balcony because there'd be nothing left. Yeah, you also gotta know your own self and what you're capable of, right? Like, don't be that person that's like first-time grill user. And you're gonna start making crazy stuff on the grill at a high temp. Unless you're like aware of how to cook with fire, I wouldn't do it. I think we need a seasoner, man. We got the first side complete. So we don't need a ton of mustard, guys. Just enough to help the salt and pepper and whatever other seasonings in the dry rub are that you're gonna be using. And then as this cooks, it'll make a really nice crust with all of that stuff and like seal in all of the yummy juices and stuff. I didn't get the seasoning yet, so you'll have to go grab it.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Take a walk. Alright. Those are all rubbed. So I always keep one dirty hand while I'm doing this and one clean hand. There's a method to this madness. Show them the seasoning, please.
Seasoning showing.
Other one.
Oh, other one.
Thank you. Susie Q's Santa Maria style seasoning. So flake salt, black pepper, granulated garlic, and a little bit of parsley. Okay, don't go too crazy because I know it can be a bit salty sometimes. I got the other side still. We'll let that soak in for a moment, and we'll flip it over. Almost looks like a cow tongue. I want to disturb our seasoning. Nudge. No, what are you doing? You already know the steps. What does he think he's doing right now? Did you guys see that? You forgot how to barbecue.
Huh?
What?
Where?
This guy forgot the proper steps here of being a grill master. Oh, this is his excuse now every time. So he thinks now that he drives a truck, he's no longer responsible for chef duties. He's cavemanning. Do not give him the go-ahead on this, Bonk. You know how long it took me to get him domesticated? We're not going back. Okay, we've been rubbed. Now I'm not even washing my hand because we're gonna still have to put the meat onto the grill and touch it. Even though it feels gross. Don't worry, you're not gonna die. That's good.
I know.
It's okay if there's a little bit left. Rather not have it really salty. I'll put it in the potatoes. Don't worry. Okay, now we're gonna go out to the grill. So Sambo's gonna take everything and get it set up for our view. He's doing it. You just go out there and then keep in mind that we have a photo on the right hand side. So you gotta center it for the left of the screen. I'm telling you. You understand?
Just hold it while you do it.
Okay, then hold it. Just tell me what you need to do and what you're doing. He's gonna hold the camera, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll go out.
Yeah.
One hand in this.
Doors open. Yeah.
Get going.
I got the meats.
Okay, he's going with the meats even. I know you can buy it on Amazon, but yeah, how much is it gonna cost to ship?
Oh. Do this.
Okay, I need you to start going and then I'll switch it. That's why. I don't need Tri Tip going on the carpet. Okay, we're going. I'm coming, guys. You're doing great. Are you gonna come a bit closer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put the big one on the back. Don't drop the board. You got that balanced. It's smoky, yep. Right in the face. Clean hand. I'm not crying, you're crying. Thank you. Okay, now I got nothing. Whoa! I'm in 2 screens at once. Good job, cameraman Sam. To the rescue. You're so jealous the weather there? It's been really nice. Still haven't had to plug in the AC. You love this setup? You've never seen it before? It's pretty good. It works good for all of us, I would say. Okay, so now we're gonna reuse the same board. That's why we didn't make a huge mess. So it's what, 12:40 for our time? So like in a couple hours we'll check it. Not a chance I'm waiting till 4 o'clock to eat. This guy thinks we're gonna be sitting around for like 3.5 hours. Not happening. So a new container of Suzy Q's is $28.50 on Amazon. But you can buy the container for $20 at Walmart, and then is it gonna cost you more than $8.50 to ship it here? Probably. Like most of the small packages that I send from Canada are like minimum $13 now. So these are the questions that we have. All right, tri-tip, season. We're smoking 2 to 3 hours. Let's see how long it takes us to get the rest of this stuff done today. And we'll go with that. So next one on here. And like if you're doing multiple meats and cooking them the same way, and no one has, let's say, cultural things that they have to follow for like pork versus beef, like being halal. If no one has any stipulations like that around what they're eating, don't worry about using the same cutting board for the different meats. It's okay, guys. Save yourself the extra dishes and steps. So next, actually, I think we have to, well, do we want to season one of the pork shoulder chunks with the Suzy Q's, and then the other pork spice we'll just put on the other big piece for tomorrow? I think that works. Try the Suzy Q's on the pork. So you have two different sizes, guys. So we have this one bigger chunk that we're gonna use for our stream tomorrow. So we'll get it to the point where it can be pulled today on the smoker, and then we're gonna make enchiladas from it on stream. And then this chunk, we're just gonna smoke and then let it cool in its whole form, and then slice it thin, kind of like capicola or something like that, for a nice roasted pork sandwich. Because you can make your own sandwich meats at home too. That's allowed. The container of Suzy Q, so Sam's checking the Canadian Amazon, is $80?
Yeah.
$80. Excuse me?
I'll just wait till I go to the States.
Sam says we'll just wait till we make our way down there, Bonk. We'll go buy it directly and then bring it back. Look how nice that is, that chunker of shoulder. Sam says he's gonna drive until we make it to Buc-ee's. So that's how far we're gonna go. When is this happening? Me. When is this happening? Okay, so usually when we put pork shoulder on the smoker like this and are planning to cook it for a long time, you don't really have to clean up too much of the muscle. So this one you can see why we're kind of using for sandwich meat, 'cause it's all bunged up. So we will smoke it in its form like that, just kind of roll it back together. And then this will make phenomenal pulled pork for tomorrow. Like even just that piece on top, so nice and marbled. And yeah, it doesn't look like we even have to clean out any connective tissue. So we don't need this boning knife. Done. Done with the really messy bits. Oh, I got rid of the spoon for the mustard, please. I'm gonna need another spoon as well as seasoning man again.
Seasoning man again.
Hi Island, yeah, we're doing pulled pork as well at the same time. If we make it to Vegas, Bonk says, we can have a couple containers. I think we're gonna make it that far. He says we'll make it to Vegas.
First stop.
That's the first stop.
Yeah.
Just beelining it straight down, hey?
Yeah.
Where are you going? You getting the pork seasoning first?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to get the seasoning and then he's gonna get a spoon for the mustard. Your gym trainer's going to Vegas? Vegas is pretty fun. Even if you're not into gambling or like drinking or partying, there's a lot of other things you can still do there for fun. Trust. We've been there a few times. And yeah, we're not big gamblers at all.
Spoon.
Thank you. So same thing as the tri-tips. Just get a little bit of stuff to get the seasoning adhered on easier. That's probably good for that one. Do a little extra on here. It's on your bucket list to go to, Mickey. I think you would love it. Bonk will do PTO for us. Okay, we'll keep you updated. Samo is currently possibly waiting for an interview for another department. He applied just a couple days before you came home, right? So we're waiting to hear back for that, and then maybe we can still get a little bit more of an extended vacation like what we talked about. That's a 6-hour road trip for you, Bonk? That's it? Here in Canada, it's like, oh, we're going on a road trip. The like destination we choose is like 12 hours away. All of them. Yeah, Sam is looking. He's like, I think Vegas from us is like 14 hours, which is actually not that bad. That'd be like trying to get to the coast from here then. Okay, seasoning man. He says 1 moment. Vegas is 2,400 kilometers. Okay, we'll flip this. Do that side first. Same with this one. We'll do the underneath first. So the smaller one, we're doing Suzy Q's. The bigger one, our seasoning, guys, is salt, pepper, paprika, garlic, coriander. That's good. And that kind of tapers anyway, so that should be good. Beautiful. You need that end? I'll just put it on there. When it soaks in, I don't want to lift it up. So then we're doing similar seasoning to the tri-tip on this other chunk of pork that we're gonna use for sandwiches. Gone. Vegas really is a whole new world. My favorite story of bringing Samo to Vegas for the first time. He already knows.
CD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He already knows my story that I'm telling, because it's just like the perfect intro of like what happens when you go to Vegas the first time. Walking down the street, we're doing like some exploring, just walking around down the strip our first day. And there's this guy that's selling mixtapes. He's like, yo man, I got mixtapes for free. If you want to listen, I'll even put your name on it for you. And I was like, don't take it, Sam. Nothing is free, just so you know. What does Sam do? Takes the CD. He's like, awesome, man. This is great. The guy's like, yo, what's your name, bro? He's like, my name is Sam. Starts to write Sam's name in Sharpie on the CD. That's just like a burnt CD. His own little mixtape. And then he's like following us down the road because he expects us to now pay for the CD that he wrote Sam's name on. And I was like, and this is why nothing is absolutely free. I mean, we ended up getting away, but after that, he understood. And then getting into like the people that are advertising the strip clubs, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. In the last few months, there's a couple of casinos that closed in Vegas. Which ones? I don't really stay up on the Vegas news. That's kind of crazy. Okay, next steps. Onto the grill. I think I'm just going to do this quickly, guys, with Sambo. Since you saw us put the tri-tips on, and I have to fit this in somewhere. Probably top rack. And then I will return and we'll wash up. A big hotel closed down in Vegas? Crazy. I just hand it to you here. Easier. Yum. So now everyone has to smell all of our smells today.
Yeah.
That's what y'all get.
Yeah.
That's what y'all gonna get. Got. Sneak the pork shoulder in the center, or can I put it on top? I put it on top. Look at this little chunker. We're loaded up. Did you guys do anything fun? I didn't even ask about like 4th of July things for the Americans. Or do you guys not really celebrate? So that now, please. Can we put it in there? You know what the deal is. Shower dishes, everyone. The Tropicana and the Mirage closed? Now let me think. Did I stay in the Mirage before? I think one of the first times. Guys, when I went for like my 21st birthday or something. I think that's where my family stayed. That's crazy. The Mirage will be the new Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. That makes sense, actually. It looks so nice inside. Yes, yeah, that is one of the nicest looking ones inside, like the big fountain and stuff. Yet it is you're having brisket for dinner tomorrow. Woohoo! Do you think today's stream was a food prophecy? I love when that happens for all of us. Okay, pork shoulder on. We're going. Next up, we're gonna start prepping the beets. Mickey, you got a new prime minister, you think? What? What is going on in the UK right now? Didn't really do anything for the 4th. Your neighbors did fireworks. Fun. As long as all the animals are okay. That's the only time I get concerned about the fireworks. And the poor little animals that get scared. Okay, let me just pop a lid on this container of trim. And then I'll bring this foil over for the beets. So we're gonna do the beets roasted in a foil packet. Is the quickest, easiest, and also cleanest way to cook beets, at least in my mind. And that way you don't lose all the flavor either by boiling them out in a pot. Always gotta roast the beets for the best flavor. And I like to try to choose smaller beets. Like one of the farms had really big beets that I usually buy from.
Big beets.
Big beets, and I said, you know what, that's gonna take forever to cook, as much as they look amazing. So I find beets this size usually around an hour to roast, which is doable. Your entire city was a firework war zone? Oh my gosh. Didn't I see in California they had banned setting off fireworks for the day and then no one even listened anyways? The mortar booms? What is that? We're not really allowed fireworks here. Unless you live out of the city, you can kind of do what you want. Thanks for the follow, Keeb Mama. Welcome in. Nice to meet you. Papa's gonna hate firework night in the autumn. Maybe you can get him like prepared a little bit for it. Play like some YouTube videos or something with fireworks sounds. Or yeah, Sam says just get him little earmuffs. Okay, so I tore enough foil, if you guys can see this, maybe if I turn it, where you can just make a packet by folding it over, and then we'll just twist in the 3 edges together, fold them up, make a little foil pouch. We'll go this side with it. And the nice thing about doing the beets this way is we really don't have to put too much effort into them currently. You don't have to peel them ahead of time or anything like that. We're just gonna do a little bit of olive oil and some salt to help season them as they cook. And then later on, when they're all cooked, is when we're gonna peel them up. And they already actually did a lot of the hard work for us on these beets, like trimming the tops and bottoms off. So all of that will eventually get taken off, but it's so much easier to do after you cook them. And I found that there's always like two ways people prepare beets. They either pre-peel them, which I find is quite messy and a little bit annoying because they're a little bit slippery if you try to peel them now. Or they do them the way that you cook them all first, whether you boil, steam, or roast, like what we're doing today, and then peel them after. The city allows the safe and sane zones, but so many people go to Nevada by the illegal airborne fireworks. What the heck? That's crazy. Okay, so see how I kind of lined them all up for when we fold this? And then we have enough on the ends that it should come together like a nice little packet. Might be also easier to do this right on the sheet pan, but we'll have to slide it on afterwards, and that's okay. I knew there was someone, one of my mods, that was not a fan of beets, and it's you, Bonk. I'm gonna get my fill. I really love beets. And I even have a beet tattoo. And yeah, I was saying I couldn't remember the last time I ate beets. At least a year or more ago. And you know what they say, like any vegetable that's nice dark colored like this is really good for you, the antioxidants. So now you can just kind of take the oil, get them all coated. Hi. Thank you for washing up the board, guys. Cutting board is already washed and prepped. Sam was the best kitchen helper. In Vegas on New Year's Eve, several casinos set off fireworks. I could see that. But like Vegas is always kind of loud and obnoxious. So it's kind of known that that's gonna happen, I feel. And I guess we'll get the oven on for these too. I've also had some beets where it's like, yeah, you know what? This beet is not that good tasting. I can understand sometimes why people don't like to eat beets. If they taste gross, like some of them taste like dirt, it's not that good. I wouldn't want to eat it either. I'd say probably the smaller beets are better. They also had some beets that were like super small still on the stalk. But like the whole small bunch was $5, whereas like I got all of this for $5. We're doing some beet comparison today. And then I had the cute lady at the one farm I always go to for the carrots and potatoes usually, and I got the dill from there today. She's like, do you need any kale or green onions? She was like trying to upsell me. I was like, no, I think I'm okay. Oh gosh! Hello! Starting the stream with the raid. We got a couple things done already, but welcome in, Steve. You paid me back finally. You got me. I'm in the kitchen today. We didn't come and visit you. How is your weekend going, dude? Thank you for bringing your community over. We currently have beets that we are prepping to roast for a salad later to go with our tri tip. Guys, what did you get up to over there? You had a slow service, so you're leaving early? Sometimes it happens, right, dude? And that's usually the best thing to do. Make that call. Instead of wasting your time and trying to stay open for a couple more sales, just go early. Because then you always have the next day, right? Maybe you'll get busier the next day. What was like a special that you guys had on the menu, if you want to share? Hi, Geek Boy. Welcome in from Steve's stream. You did great, Bog. Thanks for doing the shout out as well. If you guys have never seen Chef Steve live on Twitch, go give him a follow. He does, can we say, mostly raise money for charities, but they also operate their own food truck, which is super cool. That's what he means by service, is they stream live from the food truck. So definitely go check that out if you want to see how that operates. And yeah, today my husband just came home this week from work, so we're doing some barbecue foods. We have a couple tri-tips. We are just using the Traeger today so we don't light the balcony on fire. We got tri-tips on the smoker already, as well as a couple pieces of pork shoulder that we are going to prep for tomorrow's stream, pulled pork enchiladas. I think that's going to be yummy. He travels for work. Yeah, he works at a gold mine in the Arctic. So he's usually gone anywhere from like 21 to 21 days at a time. And then is home for a few weeks and then gone again. It's pretty cool though. Like, it's a very good job for sure. But yeah, when he's home, we try to always make really good food together. Things that he doesn't get up at camp, right? Thanks, Bonk, for posting the menu. So yeah, we got our beef tri-tip on the barbecue. You guys can do this one of two ways. We talked about doing it hot and quick for the tri-tip. More like how you would cook a steak on the grill. So higher temp, or you could do it low and slow like we're doing today. More like a smoker option where it is gonna take a couple hours. But I like to do kind of longer meat cooks on the weekend. And that way the meat can just roast while you're preparing the other meal items, right? You don't have to rush through being like, oh gosh, the meat's almost ready and nothing else is. So don't do that to yourself. Take it easy. Especially I find when it's warm out, it's nice to not have everything like super high heat all the time. But it's hard having them gone for weeks at a time. Sometimes it can feel long. Sometimes it goes by pretty quick. This time felt a little bit longer, but it is what it is, right? I'd still think rather have this than him having to work like 5 or 6 days a week, just being here in the city and only seeing him a couple hours a day, right? Before everyone goes to bed and then does the same thing the next day. Yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder. We've been together before this for quite a few years, so this is not the most difficult thing I don't think we've ever had to do.
Also, you wouldn't be able to stream and you would need a job.
Yeah, that too. Is I probably wouldn't be able to stream as much if Samo was working here. Captain Rob works 2 weeks on the boat and then home for a week. That's a pretty good shift. If you have like half the amount of time off at home compared to what you work. Or like Sam has a really good shift usually. If he doesn't work extra, he has 3 weeks on and then 3 weeks off. That is like the best shift I've ever seen. Always good paychecks, we know this. Okay, so we got the tri-tip on. We're gonna check it, I think in maybe an hour and a half, just to get kind of our temps and timings of where we're at. So I said the next longest cook for today is these beets. I picked them up at the farmer's market this morning for $5 for this whole bag. So all we did before you guys came in with the raid is just a little olive oil to coat them and some salt sprinkled over. So we're gonna make a little foil pouch now. I remember doing these for like Girl Guides, or if you guys did Boy Scouts as well. So usually we start with the side and then just fold it all together. So this always reminds me of like a 2-part process when we cook beets like this or any root veggies. Is we're roasting it at the high heat, but then at the same time, because we're trapping all of the steam inside of here, we're also steaming them at the same time. So I find that it could sometimes cook a bit quicker. And then I always try as I'm packing these up to make it pretty easy for us to check how they're cooking later on. So try to make a nice little pouch. So that when we go to poke it to see if it's done roasting, we don't tear the foil open and make it hard to pack it back up. So that's that. Now we'll just slide that onto a sheet pan. Just in case we do get a little puncture in the foil, and that way nothing is going to leak into the oven as it roasts. So then we'll set, let's do 45-minute timer. Anywhere from 375 Fahrenheit to 400. Let me go put my watch on so I can pop a timer on. And it'll let us know. And then after those are cooked through nice and tender, like I said, we'll get them peeled up, and then that's when we dress them with a bunch more ingredients. Our fresh herbs, some more salt and pepper, and get them cut up for the salad. Scoots, have you made any of this stuff that I'm making today? Are you getting ideas for the weekend or the week coming up? Thanks for the follow, Gunther. Gunther Smash. I like it. Okay, beets, roast. I said 375F for 45 minutes. Maybe when the timer goes off, we'll just check on the tri-tip at the same time. It could happen. Okay, now while we're waiting, I think we'll start with our potatoes. Our creamy dill potatoes. Get those prepped up. I have a bunch of potatoes to use up. And I know these are some of our favorite to eat in the summer. So we'll make a big batch. A nice big pot today. The fridge is so full of food right now. It's kind of crazy. Hi, Trek. It's going good. How's your Saturday? I can't believe we're back. Like, I remember last Sunday, we were like, whoa, where did the whole weekend go? And now it's already Saturday again. We're gonna use some of these fancy, like, new potatoes. And then just some of these from the market that are starting to sprout on us. I said, oh no, we can't have that. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I had a coffee this morning. Don't go anywhere, guys. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I'm back. Mish, you can't just sneak a feta complaint out. See you all next time. Bye, Gunther. Nice to meet you. Does he find a lot of the particular item he's mining for? He is not a miner himself. He is a operator at the mine. So there's a lot of different jobs at the mine. Only a few people actually work underground. It's an interesting thing, though. I will try to answer your questions to the best of my knowledge. Okay, we'll get a medium pot out for these potatoes. And then I'll also show you why I decided to boil these potatoes today, because it looks like they got frozen in the truck. Oh God. On their way over, because these were grown in BC. Do you see that? Did they just put a rotten potato in the middle and call it a day? I think they did. So I was like checking them out in the bag. I was like, these do not look like the warba potatoes that I am used to eating. Usually we'll like roast them or do something else, but they really need a lot of cleaning up. I wasn't super happy. Is it that cold up there? No, I just don't understand why they froze in like the grocery truck, it looks like. Oh yeah. I got an oven full of cast iron pans here currently. Oh yeah. They're all seasoned. They're all seasoned now. Done. But there's definitely some cleaning that will be had. I'm gonna try to leave on as much of the skin and obviously usable potato as possible. But like, whoa. I think I want this other medium pot. That's the one. And we'll need a lid too for the potato pot. It's 71F here today, Bonk. Not too bad. Could be better, but also could be worse. So like these chunks, just see with my paring knife. So yeah, it's just kind of on the outside. The rest of the potato is really nice and white. So that's usually what tells me that it just froze a bit. Le Sage. We're gonna clean it all up first and then we'll dice them up. See what kind of pieces we get from this. Not having to actually trim off as much as I thought. I thought it was gonna go pretty deep into the potato. This one though. The smaller ones obviously got it worse, right? (104 Fahrenheit. Guys. Sam, imagine like 30 degrees more than what we have right now. Like, I would die. This is warm enough for me. Like, as a Canadian, this is like prime summer temperature. We don't want hotter. Mary, it's 55 in Alaska. Now that's the temp we want. Yeah. That's gonna be our final landing spot. You get used to it. I can imagine that. But then we could also say the other side is like you get used to the cold weather, right? So then the hot weather is like, whoa. It's got a butt. Got like a butt crack. Let's see what's going on in here. There's a town in California that had a high of 124 Fahrenheit recently. I could see that. Especially if you're somewhere where there's not like trees or vegetation to help cool the air down. Holy, it just radiates. Trek, you'd love to see 70s. I'm not as much as a summertime human as I used to be. I don't know if that's just something that happens as you get older. Maybe. Ew. Brother, ew. If it feels gross, don't use it. That was another thing, actually, I was trying to look up here. I forgot, though, is if there was another forest fire, because it's been a bit hazy, smoky. You know, when the sun sets and the whole, everything's just that red hue. It's usually when we can tell. But dang bonk. Imagine fighting a fire in that temp. I can't. 0% containment in 4,000 acres. But yeah, you can't really fight a fire when the air is basically on fire already. So these potatoes will get boiled in bite-sized pieces until they are tender and like almost falling apart, I would say. And then at that point is when we add the butter and cream and let that reduce a bit, and then we add the nice fresh dill at the end. So good. Ah! Oh, you need to cut that one still. Ah, look at that one. No, thank you. The dirt got right in there. Almost there. One of your cousins fights wildfires in Utah? Yeah, I have a couple cousins that are also firefighters. Currently in Alaska, fighting some fires. Hey, you'd be surprised the fires that happen up north. It actually gets quite warm up there. You get some pretty good heat waves. So as much as people think it's always like cold and perfect, it's not. Alright, we're almost done with these nice little warbas, which were not as nice as some previous years as we got them. Probably the most disappointing year yet. Must have been like just a bad crop this year. Sometimes you can't help that, right? That's the risky part about being a farmer. Let's clean up these other ones. Still try to leave on as much of the skin as possible. Take off the eyes though. Oh god. It's hard to clean the small potatoes. They're so slippery. But the small potatoes also usually taste really good compared to the big potatoes. These ones are so yellow. And then the other ones have really white flesh. I think when we looked it up before on stream, there was thousands of potato varieties. Most of them from Peru, pretty sure. Last one. Some of the specks look like dirt, but it's not. It's actually in the skin. Mish gets a feta inflation tax fee today. She complaining about no feta, even though we are using feta today. Okay, that's my pile. We did it. You guys see how some of these, like these ones are so white, and the other ones are nice yellow flesh. Flying down the racetrack. Two of your uncles are even retired firefighters. I don't know if my uncle is the chief or what of the one town they live in. I forget. But it is a pretty dangerous job for sure. Okay, grab our knife now. And now that we have like these already pre-done, just kind of match the rest of the potato size to that. So some of them will just quarter. And that way when we boil them, they'll all boil at the same rate because we're not mashing them. Not going to be mashing them together, so it is important that they're all the same size. I think I can hear the beets already sizzling in the oven. This one will just go in half. That's amazing. That's what we want. Sizzle sounds. This one will cut into 6. Maybe this one has to get cut in half, I think. Nice. I wonder what kind of festival is on in the city today, this weekend. Might be like a Greek fest or something like that. Every now and then you just get a waft from the smoker outside. Smells good. Holy, these yellow potatoes, like my knife goes through way easier. Nowhere near as crunchy as the white ones. I think we could also say like the new version of potatoes, the first harvest, always gonna be a lot juicier and crunchy than just a regular potato. Also seen when I was at the market this morning, guys, they're starting to get some of the fruit farms from BC where we're going this upcoming week, selling their Okanagan fruits. But yeah, there's no one had any stone fruits other than cherries. No peaches, no apricots, nothing like that. Yum. That'll be a good pot of potatoes for sure. Your local place just got peaches today, Scooter? I saw when we were at Costco yesterday, they had a nice case of peaches that was from Washington. Because that's probably all we're going to get this year. Is either from the States for peaches And apricots are nothing because they seriously don't have enough to even sell. Or yeah, Sam said we'll have to get them from more out east, like Ontario, from where he grew up. And so yeah, stone fruits here are usually like starting mid-July to August, but they already know because of what happened in the winter, they got some insane cold snaps that like killed off all of the buds on the fruit trees. So they lost 90% of their crop for the year. 90%. And this is like on the trees that are like 10, 15 years old. They said the younger trees that were about like 2 to 4 years old didn't get hit as much, but those are also the trees that aren't really producing anything yet. So like to lose all of those like 15-year-old trees that have been around for that long already is not good. Just a mess for sure. And then that's just gonna make that fruit more and more expensive as we go along too. Because then they have to recover from this year. What if the same thing happens again in the winter, right? So many what ifs when you're a farmer and you grow and raise food. A lot of your life revolves around the weather, which we don't really have control over, right? You definitely have to be lenient and patient if you're a farmer. The Palisade harvest is late June to October. That's nice and long. Okay, so I just covered the potatoes with enough water. We don't have to fill the whole pot. Now we'll come in with some salt. Kind of the same as how when we salt the water for pasta, you do the same for potatoes too. And we always start with cold water. And then those will take, oh, probably 20 minutes or so to boil on the stove top. So we can do that closer to when we are planning to eat for sure. But at least they're prepped and ready to go in the pot. Just gonna move this over. My massive cast iron pans, but they work so good. Done. Yeah, I can hear the beets sizzling in the oven. How good is that? Okay, next up we will get into our salad stuff. We'll get our greens, our kale, our herbs. Oh, I do have some romaine as well that we could use. But let's see some of the extra things. Still had some items from our steak salad from last weekend. There's a little bit of the steak with some corn. I was gonna do just beets today, guys, but then I was like, wait, I have a little bit of greens still. We got that cup of kale. I think that we'll use up some of this mint as well. Where's this one piece that's trying to go bad? Because mint is really good with beet salad. That piece is going bad, so we'll just take it out. I think my favorite herbs with beets is basil, mint, and dill. Those are the best. Actually, let's do this. We'll get this picked off. We'll zip the kale. It's probably more mint than we could ever need. That's okay. I find I never crave mint in the winter time. But whenever it's summer, I love using mint. They had maybe 4 different types of kale at the one farm today. They had this one for $5 a bunch, which wasn't too much different price than what I paid from the store for the organic one. They had the purple curly one. And they had 2 other green ones that were pretty curly looking too. I was like, I don't need any more kale. I already gotta use some up. Okay, so we take the stems out of the kale, and then usually I'll just wash it now in its whole form. Oh, see, there was some dirt or something on there. Maybe even a buggy we caught. They like to hide in the leaves of the kale. In 20 minutes or so, we'll check the beets already, guys. That's how quick it goes. I'll try to time it out as best as possible for the beef. Just get a towel to wash or wipe off the excess water. Otherwise, our dressing won't stick as good. That's why we always spin our lettuce and greens. If it's not too much, I'll just pat it off like this in a clean towel. Otherwise, you guys have seen what I use the big salad spinner to get it dried. I guess we can just get a small bowl to put this stuff in. So this, just gonna slice right down the center here, keep it going. And then usually I'll just stack it on top of itself like this. And then I like to do pretty small pieces of this kale. We are still gonna massage it though with the dressing just to get it softened up. So the leaves quite aren't as chewy. And then we can cut the lettuce a bit bigger pieces. I always like to massage the kale first though on its own. And then you could just put the torn lettuce pieces on top. You could either do just some oil and some salt to massage, or if you already have the dressing ready to go for the salad, you could also use that because it has the same flavor, right? Let's take this out. The other thing that I see is I still have a little bit of this scallion, this green onion oil left over from last week from our cold noodle bowl. So I think I might actually do some of that. It's literally just green onion cooked for like 5 minutes with some oil until it starts to get aromatic. So at least it's flavored. We'll put around a teaspoon of that. And then you could either use your hands or just a spoon to, like I said, massage that into the kale. And you'll know it's working because the leaves will go this like deeper, darker color. Leave that spoon there for a sec. And I find that the same thing happens when you do this with broccoli too. Just kind of smoosh it together in your hands. Don't worry, it's not gonna fall apart. But you wouldn't do this with lettuce. You just don't need to. And that's it. Just kind of sit and marinate as we get the rest of this salad together. The green onion flavor on there is good. I think we'll just get the greens together in this bowl. We'll keep the beets separate because we'll toss the beets with some balsamic vinegar and the fresh herbs. Keep those all together. So next we will stack our lettuce leaves. Make it easier to cut them up. Usually try to keep the same sizes together. So these ones are pretty large. These ones are a bit smaller. I'm loving the sizzle sound from the onion from the oven right now. Just shh. Sounds aggressive. Those beets are giving her. Okay, for this one, we're gonna slice lengthways and then come back across. And this one, we're just gonna cut in half, I think. Down the center, and then back across as well. And then this one, just a couple cuts and we're good. Nice. Whenever I have a beet salad, I don't like to have it with a ton of greens. Usually try to keep the beet still as the focus of the dish. Greens are there just for a buffer usually. Same type of sound as roasting garlic. Yeah, right? Just the oil sizzling away. Love it. Okay, we got that. I know we have a little bit of feta in this container. Already done up from, I think that was last week as well. But let's get some more. More feta. And I'll put this mint away. And then we will chop the other herbs up next. Keep this container out so that we put the fresh dill in there too. Or yeah, like a crackling. It's hard to describe. Almost sounds like rain falling. It's a nice light rainfall. That's why they say deep fryer sounds or bacon cooking sounds is like, you need to make a sleep song album out of that. Mish, you're here? Phew. Phew. Everyone's safe, don't worry. Hi Hank, how's it going? Welcome in. Look at that nice chunk of feta. One entire block, good to go. Is it feta salad with beets? Or is it beet salad with feta? Just gonna put the chunks on the lid. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's a good start. Feta salad with feta? Ooh. Do you like a feta trio salad? A feta trio appetizer. Do some like whipped feta as a dip. Do what else? Just some fresh crumbled feta on something, maybe with tomato and cucumber. And then I've always wanted to like fry up some feta, like cut it in that proper slice from the piece and fry up a chunk of feta just to see. Feta trio. Grilled feta, yeah, something like that. Get it browned on the outside a bit. I just feel like the texture and flavor would really change if you did that. Have you had saganaki, Mish? That's a Greek cheese dish. It's not with feta though, but it is cooked. Rather, we could say flambéed even. You haven't? Oh man. If you ever get the chance and see it on a menu, you gotta try it. Saganaki, I believe. Saganaki. Basically, spell it exactly like how it sounds. We made it at a restaurant I used to work at. And holy smokes, was it good. What you got? That's the steak container, yep. Save the corn though, because I'm gonna use it in the enchiladas tomorrow. Unless you want all of that corn. And I can figure something else out. Sam's gonna share the corn. Okay, feta is complete. Has anyone else that's in chat had saganaki before? It's also just fun to say. Yeah, S-A-G-A-N-A. It's like just a square of like maybe 1 inch thick cheese, and we just like would heat it up in this small cast iron pan until it's like fried on each side. And then while everything is really hot out of the oven, you pour over your liqueur. I forget what the liqueur is that they use, whether it was something special or not. I think so. Maybe just brandy, even. We just pour over a little bit of brandy so that when it comes to the table, they light that, and then it's like a flaming cheese in the center of the table till it goes out. You just spoon it out of the thing, out of the cast iron onto bread or crackers, whatever you have. It's yummy. Maybe ouzo, maybe some places, but I think we just use brandy. And yeah, what kind of cheese was it? That was the only one that I kind of forget. I don't think it was just matzo. It was something a bit more buttery than that.
Since there's no dessert and yes, time,
Can you say it louder?
Since there's no dessert and we have extra time, may I have a boba, please?
Yeah, you can. You discovered ouzo in Athens in the 80s? And whoa, be careful with that stuff.
I did. Congratulations.
We got excited, Mish.
Jude!
Yeah, now you know what we mean when we say Jude. Did you already go for a ride in it? Guys, Mish got a new car. Okay, the feta is going in the fridge for now, sorry to say.
Feta.
The feta. Let's get out, we got our mint. I said I will pay $3 for this bunch of dill from the farm today. Oh, what else? I might have parsley. I don't know what kind of herbages are happening in here. You need cheese. What kind of cheese? That's for our enchiladas tomorrow. Can I give you some fresh carrots or something to munch on? Sky, just straight for the cheese. What if you ate your Italian wedding soup? Where did it go?
You're the packer of fridge.
Chat. Oh, it's right here. We saved this for Sambo. Looks like I got a good dill. I would say. There's no pieces that are going bad either. New car's not there until Thursday. They're making you wait for it, hey? Greek! Greek, how's it going, dude? We need updates. We need updates from your weekend of adventures in Alberta. I'm so excited for you. I've tried to tell Samo all the things. Okay, greens and kale for the salad. Done. Feta for the salad. Complete. We got mint. We got dill. And I said a little bit of green onion if we wanted. Although I'm pretty sure I'm just going to use that green onion oil to dress the beets and call it a day. You're back in BC? We're coming to BC next week. This week coming up. But I don't think we're going far enough to see you. I don't know, actually. I'm just going to try and take out a little bit from this bunch, guys. Why do I hear a timer keep going off? What's happening in the Traeger? Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not going crazy. Why is there a forever timer going off? Is that enough dill, guys? Maybe not. We need a little bit for the beet salad, and then we need actually quite a bit for the potatoes.
More.
Maybe we'll use half of this bunch up. Me and Mish were being bad in Discord the other day. What the heck were we talking about? Oh yeah, your pepper plants. Which you never even shared photos of. Still. Excuse me. Greek, it's not looking overly good. Only about 2 properties you deemed as okay. We're going back into the herb container, guys. Mint and dill. Only 2 of the properties were okay. The rest are either, yeah, too far or just a nah. And that's like what I've heard. I mean, I don't own any properties, but I know people that have owned a few. And like, you'll know when you know if it's the one or not. Don't rush into anything. Unless I guess you have to. What did I say? I never remember the tiny ones. Hey, I never said that. You did. Is that the saying? Guys, roommate's coming home through the front door. He says it smells like beets. I think we're on the right track then. We're gonna check him in 5 minutes. How'd you know, Wayne? You did great, don't worry.
What up, nerd? What are you snacking? What did you get?
Corn. Just snacking on corn in the corner.
Let's go and fight with an old lady in the pool.
Why are you fighting old lady in the pool?
Well, I'm doing the back completely got the lane. There's 2 lanes open next to me, and she hops in mine and just starts treading water.
You were in her lane, let's be honest.
Yeah. You know, she reserved it like 35 years ago.
Guys,
In the pool when she got off the Titanic.
we're getting into fights with old ladies at the community center pool. Okay, so they put the offer in one of them, Greek, rejected it, took the house off the market. Okay. So what are they trying to do then? Maybe they decided that they don't want to sell at that price. I don't know. She's a fickle beast out there, though. That is what I've heard. At least up here in Canada. I don't know how the rest of the housing market is. I'm still waiting for it to crash. Yeah, I wonder. They just have a private investor. Cash offer. Gone. That also happens a lot in BC. Like, it doesn't even matter if the house is still livable. You'll just have a big investor come in, buy like all of the houses in a row, and then make an apartment building instead. Greek, your offer was cash? What the heck? Can you look for one more bedroom for a cook with Kate? I promise. I'll be a good house guest. Or that, I guess, Scoots, hey? They want to do more maintenance, put more money in so they can sell it for more. We got all of the dill stems. Sambo's food is ready. Let's check it out. Those houses are not the quick buck type. I can imagine. Okay, Italian wedding soup. It needs a shake up and a stir up. But we're almost there. I can get it ready for you. And we'll check the beets momentarily, guys. Oh, look, there's more kale. Kale, yeah. Who remembers this from last weekend streams? It's actually so delicious. Whoa! Okay, in the meantime, let's start chopping up our herbs. So we need some for the beet salad and some for the potatoes. So keep it separate a bit. It had to be done today from the farmer's market. Had to get the dill. The Ukrainian in me is happy. We got dill fresh in our life. In the summers, it would be weird if you didn't leave your Ukrainian grandma's house smelling like dill and raspberries. Okay, a little bit of dill for the beets and a lot for the potatoes. Whoa. Go like that for the potatoes.
Traeger's reloaded.
Ukrainians like dill? Gaffle bitters. Where have you been? I would say Ukrainian and Polish. Maybe even Russian? The door just opens randomly now. I don't know.
What?
The bathroom door just randomly opened. Is there a ghost in here? There might be. Okay, my timer's going off, guys. So let's just move some of this over. So we'll check on the beets together here. And then we'll also check on the tri-tip, the stuff in the Traeger.
Nope, I already checked it.
How is it looking, Sam?
Turned up the Traeger.
You turned up the Traeger?
Yeah.
Guys, the Traeger's turned up. Nice. You don't know any Ukrainians, but you know me. That's so good, Greek. I'm happy for you, dude. If you can cash in on that, like, for sure. For surezies. Let's get a trivet. This hot pan. Bong. Some privacy for the ghost, please. Okay, first. Samo's soup. I think we're good to go here. You're just gonna eat it in the container? I think I still have some Parmesan cheese, guys. Where's my little soup garnish? Yeah, Parmesan cheese. And I even have a little bit of parsley here we can maybe use for the beet salad too. We always put a good amount of cheese on top of the Italian wedding soup. Because that's how it tasted the best, honestly. Gotta figure out timings to sell the current place. Like, when do you really need to know when to leave? I don't know. That is really the question, right? I guess it depends on how much money you're starting with to be able to buy the new place. Like, if you have enough money to just buy it, you don't need the sale of your old house, then you do whatever you want. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Those are the meatballs that are made with Italian sausage and the ground pork. Really, really yummy. And garlicky. All right. Here's the sizzling sound I was talking about, guys. You hear that? Is Samo Ukrainian too? He's German-Canadian. He's German-Canadian. So these are our beets. Remember I said pack up the foil really nice and neat so that when we open it, you don't burn your hands and you don't tear the foil, so you can keep a lot of the steam in again. And yes, this is insanely hot when you take it out of the oven like this. Obviously be careful as we open this up, because there's gonna be a cloud of steam that wants to escape. And then usually, do I have my paring knife here still? No, I made it dirty. Usually I'll just use a paring knife or any other knife. I guess even a thermometer you could do, just to see how easily it'll slide into the vegetable, so then we can guesstimate how much longer it needs to roast for. Just gonna turn this so it's easier for me to do. What's up, Weasel? Good to see you, dude. Happy weekend to you. Because we don't want to go stabbed through the foil, right, guys? Because then you will always have a hole, but the steam's gonna escape through. Okay, those are roasting so dang nice already. Let's say we're over half cooked. We're about 70% of the way cooked. And that was the first 45 minutes. So if we do another 15, 20 minutes, that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. I'm gonna do 15 more minutes on the timer. And we'll let them rest in there for 5. Then we can get into peeling them, hopefully. Okay, what else we got here? We're finishing our herbs for the beet salad. So we're starting with some fresh chopped dill. I'm gonna put this little bit of parsley chopped from last week in before it goes bad, because why not? Green things. What I would not use would be like rosemary or thyme or oregano. Any of those kind of woodier style herbs. Not the best flavors for a beet salad. They're quite strong and will just overpower everything. But mint, dill, basil, parsley, anything like that, green onion, really good flavors. Oh yeah, Greek. Yeah, it's one thing to get a new house, but then it's like, okay, all the moving and organization that you have to do to actually move into it. The buying the house is the most fun part, right? You're having beers while you cook with me? What are you making today, Weasel? I love when you guys kind of cook along at the same time. Get it all done for the weekend, then you're ready to go. No stress. Now we'll just mix these all up. And then after we peel the beets and dice them up for the salad, just nice and bite-sized, probably do wedges for the size of the beets. That should be nice. And then, yeah, we'll toss them with the herbs, a little bit of the scallion oil. You can take that out so we don't forget. And then just some salt and pepper. And then we have up here our creamy balsamic vinaigrette. Just gotta shake it back together to emulsify it. And that's good with our feta cheese. Yummo. Okay, couple more things for our taters. We need some butter and cream. Just prepped. We'll cube up the butter. Where's this little container? I actually had this small container of butter cubes, and we'll add to that just to melt them in. And then this is also a good way to use up extra whipping cream that you have. I think I have about half a cup of whipping cream. in there, and that will be good. You could also use a bit of milk if you didn't have cream, but the cream makes it really nice and rich with the butter. Makes his own little sauce. Thanks, Gearbox Man, gifting this sub to Weasel, who's not new here. Weasel's been here before, but thanks for bringing them back to be part of the kitchen crew. I appreciate you. Weasel's even cooking with us today, so this actually makes sense. Mediterranean chicken with lots of veggies and a Mediterranean beef stir fry. It's so funny, hey? Summertime is like Mediterranean food time. At least for me, I'll always choose those recipes. That sounds good. And then Gaffle Bitters, who taught me how to use knives, which knife to use for what and techniques. I've gone to culinary school. I graduated from there, which is crazy to say, in 2012. So like 12 years ago now. So we're taught basic knife skills there and techniques, and then obviously over the years of cooking in different places, you just slowly hone your skills that way too, depending on what you're making, what station you're working at, all sorts of things. So repetition is definitely how you will get better working in the kitchen. That's kind of it. In my mind, after all these years, that's really how I've gotten good at a lot of things, is just doing it over and over to like the point where you're not scared anymore, right? You're not scared of what could happen or go wrong. I think that'll be a good amount of butter for us. I just cube it nice and small so that it melts in easily to the potatoes. You're afraid to use the bigger knives that you have? Use the paring knife for almost everything. I could see that. I was pretty scared to use the big knives too at first. But another one is like everyone kind of, yes, has their own brand of knife that they like to use and like tell others to use. But it more always comes down to how that knife feels in your hand. You could buy a really expensive knife and it could be so uncomfortable to use that you never even pick it up. It just sits there, right? So I always say you should go to a knife store instead of just buying it online and like feel how it sits in your hand, because everyone's hand is different, right? I'm left-handed, so that makes a big deal for me, because some knives are only made for right-handed people, the way that the handle is formed. So for me, this has been the most comfortable knife that I've ever used. And like I said, just repetition. Push yourself. Be like, okay, today I'm gonna use my chef's knife to cut up some carrots and see how that goes. What? What? You have a problem.
What?
What are we
Doing
doing?
my business in the streets?
Is he ousting people? He does that. It's okay. We don't have to get into it.
He said that's a nice tackle bag. I'm like, yeah, I bought a bunch of new tackles. I think I might have a problem.
We all have problems. Okay, Misha's posting recipes in Discord for biryani for 800 people. I don't think I can compete with the lady on Facebook Marketplace selling biryani. She's got me beat. I need to see this though. It's a photo out of a book. Imagine making biryani for 800 people. How long would that take? Bonk, you end up using your largest chef knife for just about everything. The paring knife you use for butter, really. Yeah, I don't use my paring knife a ton, just for those like smaller tasks. But that's why I say, it's not always about how your knife looks. It's more about how it feels and you being comfortable to always pick it up. Instead of being like, oh, that's scary. I don't ever want to touch it. Throw the knife at a target on the wall? I would not suggest, no. Weasel, you winged it, bought your girlfriend a nice knife. She liked it, or she just lies to you. You don't know. Watch her use it, then you will know. If it takes her forever to prep things, maybe she doesn't love it as much as she says. I don't know. I always say to people, like, be honest about your gifts that you receive. It shouldn't hurt your feelings or the other person's feeling. Like, we all like what we like, and they do their best to do or find things that they think we'll like. But at the end of the day, you should be happy with what you have. And if that person really loves you, the honesty is not gonna hurt their feelings as much as you lying to them will. Facts right there. Hi, Luna. How are you doing? Guys, last week when Luna was here, she was recovering from a, what did you say? Third degree oil burn spill from the kitchen. So we had good chats about not being bad with hot oil, because that's always scary. Whoa. Still hurts? That's so scary. Okay. Oh yeah, Samo finished his soup, guys. Italian wedding soup. 2 thumbs up. It's so good. Brothy. You got the proteins, pastas, and veggies. Samo? Samo is here today, Tony Montana. Yeah, the more you know, Scoots. I try to share my knowledge here. Oh, the racetrack is open every Saturday on stream, Wayne. Didn't you know? Motorbikes or cars, it doesn't matter. Nice, Samo. This is already good to go. Italian wedding soup is awesome. It was seriously so good. That's a make again. You have 4 days. You need to go back to the job. The head chef is not a nice person. Maybe have someone else there with you if you're scared of the interaction that's gonna happen. Is this where we make the boba for Samo, I think? Because we're up. We got some extra time. Like peanut gallery over there.
What peanuts? We got peanuts?
Both of you. Is the head chef ever a nice person? You thought that was a requirement? Let me think about all the head chefs that I've had. Maybe like 20% of the time. The gallery's full today. Yeah, the peanut gallery, Scoots, sold out of tickets. Head chefs can be interesting. Let's just say that. Some can be really nice. Some people will put a mask on though and pretend that they're nice, but then when things go wrong, you really see the reality of the situation. That can be scary. So let's say it depends. And that's kind of like any human that you meet though, guys. Some people are really nice, other ones straight up evil. I don't know what else to say. Okay. Samo asked us to make this today since we're not making any desserts on stream. Well, just while we're waiting. What do we got? A couple moments on the beet still. So yeah, while we're waiting, we'll whip up a boba. You know what he said to me the other day? You didn't even make me any bobas last time I was home. I said straight up I did. Where do you think the creme brulee ones went?
Are they gone?
Yeah, they don't exist in here anymore. Do you want a classic milk tea, a taro, or do you want pineapple passion fruit? A what? Why are we going double on all the amounts? Why can't we just go single? Interesting when you say that about someone means difficult to get along with. That's the nice way of saying it. Okay, we're gonna do 2 classic milk teas, regular size. Boba sounds good right now. It is warming up. We're warming up, but it does take me usually like an hour to make this. Because I'll make the tea and then let it cool down with the pearls. So we don't have to put as much ice in when you put the milk in. Okay, so first things first that I actually need is to get a little pot of water on. We could cheat, like there's directions on these boba pearls. You just throw the plastic package in the microwave. But I just can't get past cooking it in the plastic. Like that kind of freaks me out. So I always just fill a little pot with water instead. Like just enough to fill up the bottom where the pearls are submerged and just boil them for 3 minutes. Because I find that so weird. I am not microwaving that in plastic. So then all I usually do while I'm waiting for that, because these are kind of stuck together, kind of separate them all. Ramsey is nasty. What's happening? What are you going on about, Tony? What did you find out? Didn't he almost die recently, Ramsey? What was it, a bike accident? That was so scary, that video. Samo wants to double up on boba. Not happening. Not happening. Okay, so those are all ready. And then all we do is just kind of squish down the top where we're gonna cut it open. You guys like my reactions. Not happening. Just trim that open so that you can just squeeze it into the pot. Easy. Why can't you? So that there's enough for other boba times too. Turning off the oven. You like the milk tea without the boba? Why can't you have more when we come back? I can make one for the road. Why are you making things anxiety and thinking about the future? Can we just stay in the present, please? Are these the all-in-one milk boba tea things? So this pack we get from Costco. Do I need to go and get the box again? So we get this from Costco. I think when it goes on sale, it's like $12.49 for... How many packages are in here? 8, 10, 12. So like $13, $14 for 12 boba drinks. It's made in Taiwan. There are 4 different kinds in the pack. So we're just doing the classic milk tea today. So think like brown sugar flavored. If you like Sugar Crisp cereal, there's that. The taro milk tea is really yummy, kind of like light if you've ever had taro. I like to make that one with coconut milk a lot of times just for the extra nutty flavor. This is the one that I made him a double last time he was home. And there's only 2 of them in the pack, right? So it is special. Creme brulee with caramel flavored bobas. And then the last one is like a fruity one, but you can still make it creamy. And it's like the least favorite, a passion fruit pineapple green tea. Is his truck okay? A little warm sounding. She's running a bit warm. So yeah, all you do, you get your water going for your pearls. We pour out the powdered flavor mix. Because, like, let's be honest, a lot of the boba places just scoop powders out of a jar. You have to watch and make sure if you order, like, a fresh fruit smoothie that they use real fruit. Because some places will try to cheap you out for, like, a $5 to $7 drink. So you just pour that in, and then from here, I just put enough hot water, if you guys have a kettle, or I just pour it out of the coffee machine hot water. Just enough to dissolve all of this. I've also made a video for this on Instagram. I'm just plugging in my stuff down here again. I'll show you where we are. Boop. So there's our water. And yeah, these only take 3 minutes, so try and put them in at the same time, and then I just give it a stir while we froth up the tea. Stir it up. Set our timer. After we get these cooling into the fridge, we get to try peeling some beets. Hot water on. Ah! I almost just threw all the chopped herbs everywhere. But I caught him. He went on the counter instead. Let's put this back here. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous, guys. That was a close call. How do we say this? Martin Inc? Martin Inc. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Okay. You guys are gonna hear me pour the water on this side, I think. It's a bit loud. That's what it sounds like. I'm gonna stop there. So like that much, that's it. And then we just do this until all of the sugar is dissolved and the powdered drink mix. It goes so yummy and frothy too when you do this. Cools it off quicker. Okay, do the next one. You used to blanch your beets to make them easy to peel. That works too. We talked a little bit earlier about all the different ways you can prepare beets. I always say roasted is my favorite because you concentrate the flavor more. And it's kind of a hands-off way to cook the beets. You kind of just put them in the oven, right? And then set a timer for when you think you're gonna be done rather than when you boil them in a pot. Kind of have to watch closer, right? We'll see how good these ones turn out though. We will check them out together. Okay. 2 teas done. I think we got a couple minutes on our bobas. 14 seconds only, see? Then we'll strain those and come over here. And then it's beet time. So that's how it looks after you're done frothing it. Those are the bobas. So now I just kind of strain with the spoon the extra water out. 3 minutes, that's it. If you like them a bit softer, you can go up to 5 minutes. And then obviously if you like it chewier, don't go as long either. And now we just pour those into the cups. Distribute it. Like that and that. Give them a stir. And then I just put put that into the fridge all together so it can cool off. I usually set like a 45-minute timer. And then don't put it directly the hot onto the glass in the fridge. So usually I'll put a cloth under that, just so nothing cracks. So where is all this gonna go then? That is the question. Right there. And that's how you make like a $2 bubble tea instead of an $8 bubble tea. Maybe even less, really. All right. Time to beat it up. Well, that is really hot still. We know this. Be careful opening it, but we do want to open it right away so that it can start to cool off. We don't need to keep the steam in there. And obviously we'll check the beets one more time to make sure we're happy with how they are cooked. They shouldn't be crunchy at all. And yeah, I didn't even need a fancy bubble tea machine. Some people will say that's like cheating way to make the bubble tea. But that's been better than some of the other bubble teas I've had made that I paid someone to make for me. So what are we really arguing about here? Poke the beet. I usually go for the larger one because that takes longer to cook, right? Nice. Try a couple. That feels good. See how easy the knife went through? And then the other thing that I usually check, yes, it's gonna be a bit warm right now, but is if you can like easily peel off the skin like that. We'll probably use a cloth. Use a dark colored cloth, otherwise you'll stain it purple or red, just like your hands. Let me see. So we check it with a knife as well as we check it how it peels. Because yes, if it comes off easy like that, like I'll do one more swipe, you know you're good to go. So now we can let all of those cool off. Open up the whole pack now. You don't have to worry about wrecking the foil. Nice. And then because we use the cloth, it shouldn't be too hot. That'll make a barrier from the heat. And it is always easier to peel the beets while they're warm. You don't have to do it while it's rocking hot like this, but I don't really have anything else to do right now, so we're gonna do this. I'll just show you to use the cloth. Kind of just push on the side. Samo says we have around 35 minutes. That's actually pretty perfect. So then once we get the beets peeled, before we dice them and dress them for the salad, we'll turn on the potato pot. What are we going on about out there? Our neighborhood saga continues. What? I'm going to set up the stream downstairs outside. That's more entertaining than what we got going on. Okay, now we just take our peeled beet, guys, put it on the side. And I find this is how you get the least amount of waste from your beets too. I always find if you try to peel it ahead of time, you end up peeling more off. They are slippery, yeah, the peeled beets. Gotta be careful they don't go flying out of your hand across the kitchen. There's beet everywhere. It happens quick. It'll surprise you. Usually a sign of a nicely grown beet too is when they peel easily like this. I've had beets that didn't want to peel at all, and you start to question like what happened to them? The doors just open here, Wayne. They just open on their own now. We have a ghost, I guess. You've never seen this method of peeling beets? Well, I hope that I taught you something useful today then. This is often how beets are peeled in a restaurant, or at least from where I've worked and seen. This is one of the quickest ways. And it is quite warm standing over this, like I'm getting some sweat on my top lip building up. And yeah, I'll always trim off just with a knife the side from where the stem is, so don't worry about trying to peel that off. And then it's easy to just rinse out your cloth after, right? Instead of having your hands and everything stained. The towel will be red forever now because we use this dark color. And also I always choose a towel that like I don't really care about. Like this is the barbecue towel. Oh, see, this one doesn't want to peel as nice. But yeah, it shouldn't be stained forever. A nice dark cotton. Now, we wouldn't use the white dish towel for this, no.
Right, gaffle bitters? Right?
Use Samo's towel from the bathroom. Secretly stained. You go to dry off, you're just red. Okay, this one did not want to peel at all. Interesting. Like I said, sometimes that happens. I don't know why. And that's where I'll usually just take out the veggie peeler again and finish it off. It's like the ones that cooked on the side did not want to peel. Oh, you don't even like beets, so you're like bonk then. So I'm making beets for a bunch of people that don't even want to be here today. But yeah, there's, I think, a fair share of us in here that had to peel beets or shuck peas or corn in the summer for our families. So I feel ya. You're like, I don't do this now, but it's what I had to used to do. More for us. They don't want a beet here, Mish. I'm only a little bit warm, okay? Slightly warmed. That was an Annie command. Good job, Mish. Oh no, we're losing them. We're even losing the beets. Okay, last one to peel. Other than the ones that had to obviously cause issues, because you can't have every single one perfect. Pickled beets, Vela, are delicious. Yup. I think that is actually my, like, intro into beets, was probably pickled beets from my mom's mom. A lot of times, like, people will dislike these foods just because they haven't had it made properly for themselves. So if you had it made weird the first time, then you kind of always think of it that way. But that's all we got as far as like peel. That's it. That's how dirty I got. That is not bad. Okay, first before we pack all of that up, rinse off our peeler, and we'll get these last two. And then we just need a little cutting board because we're not gonna cut up the beets on the wood. We don't want to stain that. No staining. Like, look at that. My hands are pretty much clean other than just touching this. You have a pickling jar in the fridge that you keep fed with sliced beets and onion? Do you just keep adding stuff to it? I didn't even know that was a thing. And you can tell it's soft because it doesn't want to peel off. Ow, it's hot. Some people have hot potato, that's a hot beet. Ouch. Let's see where it was directly on the sheet pan. It got softer. Thanks, Mish. Gifting subbies to Player Hater. As well as Snot Rocket. Oh gosh. Some more members of the kitchen crew. Okay, now we can get rid of that and wash our hands before they go red. For the feta, I appreciate you, friend. And hi, Pel, for the dilly taters, too. Some of my favorite things. Very Ukrainian in here today. Okay, gonna get rid of this. And we're gonna go to the stovetop. Turn on the taters. Get those cooking along. And then we can carry on with our beets. Done. Okay. Let's put these on to, I think, just medium heat. Maybe medium high, a little past. Get those going, wait for them to boil. And we're back here. Grab a cutting board. And then as well as a bowl to toss the beets around in. With the fresh herbs and stuff. Maybe I'll also wipe some of the beet skin out of here so we don't have it stained. That was some of the cleanest beet peeling I've ever done, though. Cookie. Sorry, Mish. Thank you for the 1,699. This. We're just going to transfer all of these. So those cooked in an hour, guys. Perfect, really. Love it when a plan comes together. And yeah, other than that, that's the only real mess on the sheet pan. And obviously the cloth. What do we got down here? Oh, sneaky stain. Did you really make beets if you didn't stain the cutting board in at least one place? Mish. Sorry, Cookie. Thanks for the one, guys. And yeah, I wasn't able to update any of the goals or anything today because my Stream Elements stuff would not open again. So I said I would delete it and redo it again, see if that helps. We're riverboating. We're going. Holy shit, we actually made it. Samo, we're riverboating. Okay, so it won't be next time though, or it won't be this time, I don't think. It will have to be next time he's home.
Or we don't go where we're going, we go for riverboat.
Or he says we don't go on a road trip and we go for a riverboat. Wasn't really part of the plan. Okay, we're trimming off the bottom of the beet, and if the top looks bad, you can trim that off too. We're going tomorrow. Hurry, book the tickets. There might actually be tickets still. Okay, next we are going to just first cut in half so you can see what the inside of a beet looks like. It's pretty cool. Nice and layered. And then, like I said earlier, usually I just make wedges. Maybe just go in half and then quarters. Not too big of pieces, not too small. And that way you have good surface area for soaking up all the flavors. Mmm. Not like the sweetest beets I've ever had, but pretty dang good. Like a solid 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Mmm. It'll be even better once we dress them with salt. Pull out more of the flavors, but definitely not, if I say like dirty tasting. Sometimes they taste like dirt. Not like that. So yeah, I was gonna say on Misha's comment, can we riverboat while on the road trip? Well, we were thinking of doing this river float in Penticton, it's called, where you rent a big floaty for the day and you can bring snacks and drinks, and it takes 1 to 4 hours depending on the current and the wind and stuff, and then they just pick you up at the end and bring you back to the main area, to your car. So I was talking to Sam before stream about like whether we can maybe stream that with you guys. I would be a little bit worried with like some of the equipment going in the water, but we just don't bring those things. Bonk, you don't like the dirt taste of the beets. Me neither. Me neither. That's why I always taste it before we cut it up and dress it, right? So these I'll just cut a little smaller so it's not huge. You could also just do cubes of the beets. Totally up to you guys, but I think it looks nice when you make it into a wedge. You can like see the layers more almost that way. We're heart healthy with this side. I do try to make pretty balanced meals. You guys know that. I'm gonna trim this off. I do try to make healthy meals. Especially if there's like a fattier meat. For sure you need some veggies. It's been pretty rare, the streams where I've not cooked a single veggie. That's a rare occurrence. Papa is asleep and chillin'. Love it. It's about that time, Mickey. He had a day. Okay, we're almost there. So we got the taters on. We'll be checking on the tri-tip in a bit. Trim off that top part. And we already got the pork getting ready for tomorrow's stream so that we can still have a quick and easy Sunday together. I made chicken enchiladas this week for my clients. On, when was that? Tuesday. I did that with the street corn casserole. I posted it in Discord if you guys want to see. But they looked so good, and like I made the enchilada sauce from scratch. It was so easy. And then I thought I needed to make this for Sam and myself this weekend, but with pulled pork instead. It was really fun and easy. And I thought it's also a good meal prep thing for summertime. Mickey, Pupper's been up to no good, just digging in the garden today. I think you'd rather have him dig in the garden though than to like be up to no good in the house. Like some people's dogs will like eat their door frames and stuff like that, eat their furniture. I think like a couple holes in the garden isn't too bad. Because that's kind of like they're still doing dog things is what I always think about. You can't get mad when he's doing dog things. GGV23, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Hello. You told your mom that, Mickey? Just thinking about when I grew up and had doggos. We had a few puppies in our life. It is like having a little baby around sometimes. Alright, dirtiest part of the stream complete. Look at it, the beets are so dark you can't even see them in the bowl. Now we can see them. They're there. Get rid of this. We'll rinse off the board so that doesn't get stained. But usually I find if you use plastic, it's not gonna stain it compared to wood. It'll just rinse off of the plastic. No stress. Alright, next one. Bringing together our beet salad. You coming in here saying, Mommy? I'm not used to being called that. He's home though. Samo's home. The bear is back. Okay, in this container for the beets, we got dill, parsley, and some mint. Chopped fresh. You are my son. It's okay, Mish. They always come in here saying that. It's like our little running inside joke. You would know if I was weirded out, because I'd be pretty mean to them. Sam just sighing in the corner. Okay, we're gonna dress this. You could totally just do olive oil or something. But this, we're gonna do some of the scallion oil instead to keep our herbaceous flavor. Just a bit. Just to help everything stick on here. You really hope that one day you're my real son? That'd be like a Mother Mary, baby Jesus sort of situation, but you never know. Oh my gosh, Mickey, your little note up there. But Kate, I've had so many like empty toilet paper rolls brought over. He's showing you items. He said maybe you need this. Some dogs, especially, yeah, you have a retriever. Oh look, it's the white truck again that's just driving obnoxiously. But yeah, if you have a retriever, a dog breed like that, they're always gonna try and bring you stuff because that's what they know. That's their job. Not everyone can be a great cook. That's something I've learned over the years, Pablo. Some people are great cooks, but most people are just cooks. Some are good. But I've really seen over the years, like, not everyone is a great cook. Far and few between. Unfortunately. It's some nice, like, fine ground pepper. Where is Pop? He's just chilling in the corner. He's just relaxing right now on his days off. Okay, let's see how that tastes all together, because we did put a bit of salt when we roasted it. And then always smart, same with like when you make potato salad, with the warm potatoes still in the dressing. Dress the beets while they're still warm, because they'll absorb more of the flavor too. So we did a little bit of oil and then just a little bit of the dressing we'll be using for the salad as well. Some salt and pepper and fresh herbs. That's looking yummy. Look at that color, and then they look nice and glazed. Mmm. It doesn't need anything else. The mint really comes out the flavor. So then we're gonna eat that with some greens, some balsamic vinaigrette, and then some feta cheese for some creaminess. Yummo. I'm just gonna leave that on the side, I think, the beets. And actually, one thing I will add is just a squeeze of this lemon. Yeah, not everyone's a great cook. That's why we have restaurants. I don't think we need all of this, though. But the lemon will help brighten this up just a bit, especially the herbs. Where am I on this scale between a normal cook and a great cook? Kind of just going by what I've been told over the years, but I think I might be a great cook. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. Thanks, Gearbox Man! Gifting a subby to Gaffle Bitters. Welcome back to the kitchen crew, Gaffle. And yeah, how do you distinguish between a normal cook and a great cook? Well, I think you can taste it in the food, right? We've all gone to restaurants where it's like, wow, this is like one of the best things I've ever eaten. Like, really makes you think. And then I'm sure we've all been to restaurants where it's like, you know what, that wasn't like really what I was expecting, but I guess it was okay. Kind of have to go with how you feel when you eat the food made by someone else. How does it taste? All right, toss that lemon in and then we'll see. Brightens everything up. Beets are okay. They're not delicious though. That's a personal preference. You never know though. You might have someone that makes you beets and then you'll change your mind and you'll be like, wow, that's kind of crazy. That lemon totally changed it. Even better now. Really brightened up the flavor of the herbs. I am happy with that. Okay, looks like our potatoes, if we come over, almost coming up to a boil there, so we'll keep our eye on it so it doesn't go over. Try and wipe this beet stain off. Thanks for being here, everyone. Appreciate you. So for the potatoes earlier, we got some butter cubes ready, and then we just have a little bit of whipping cream, some heavy cream there, and then fresh, a lot of dill to mix in near the end. So right now, we are just boiling them until they're tender. I'm just gonna pop that lid since it's almost at that point. How are we gonna finish the tri-tip, Sam? Are we gonna just finish it on the smoker, or we want like a grill pan or something like that?
Your choices are oven at high temperature or grill pan.
Okay, we'll let the fire truck go by. Then we'll decide. Okay, guys. How do we want to finish the tri-tip? Do we want to sear it up under the broiler in the oven under high heat, or do we want to finish it on a cast iron grill pan on the stove top and get some grill marks? The fire truck, yeah, who called them? They're coming for the Traeger. No, they kept going down the street, so I think we're safe, Mish. Gaffle Bitters, you dislike liver? Then a man offered you liver that was breaded and didn't have the strong liver taste, and it wasn't bad, right? People will change your mind when they prepare a food that you think you didn't like a different way. You'll be like, wow, maybe I just didn't have it right the first time. Yeah, sounds like the meat's done. Fire truck's coming. Oh, man. But yeah, I don't love liver at all either. And I've also had it a few times where it's like, okay, I'll eat this even though most of the time I don't like it. That's usually for sure the mark of a great cook, is when they can make you actually like the things that you think you don't like. And like I said, when you have that reaction after taking the first bite of something and you're like, wow, this could be the best thing I've ever had. Usually those moments, that's when you know. All right, these, now that they're up, I don't think they'll take too long to boil through because we cut them pretty small. So let's just set like maybe a 7-minute timer. We'll have a little poke with the paring knife to see how they're doing. I think I'm gonna finish the meat in the oven under the broiler. That'll be the easiest way. Put our grill pans away. All seasoned and ready to go again. We'll need a spoon for mixing up our taters. And then we also will need like a slicing area for our meats. And these are typically all the things that you do get ready while you're waiting on everything else to finish, right? We don't just stand around. Be like, well, we just got like to wait 20 minutes. Nah, we gotta get some things ready for when we plate. Use the paring knife to slice the tri-tips today. I've seen that. Someone uses paring knife for everything. Gaffel, was that you? And then I also still gotta get just a little bottle of bleach, guys. My white cutting board is not so white anymore. So when that's the case, like it doesn't mean it's dirty. Some things just stain more than others. Like for example, the chlorophyll from the herbs, the beets, different colored things like that. But a lot of times people get grossed out when they see that on the board. And it's like, oh, that's like means it's not clean anymore. No, that doesn't. Even I think out of everything, carrots are probably the worst to cut on a white cutting board. Like the carotene color, it will stain it yellow for like ever until you put bleach on it. You thought the secret ingredient was bleach today. No. Okay, we got that. We'll need a slicing knife. The carving fork. This is always like such a weapon to me. Where did it go? No, I put it down here. I'm so excited for these taters. Might be the best thing of the whole meal today. I'm not even making this up, guys. I'm not even joking. These potatoes are life. Okay, while we're waiting, I'm gonna rinse out the beet cloth. Just beat it. Oh no. They're flying. She's cruising. Who did it? Chat, what are you doing? You lighting fires? Wayne. Someone needs a thermometer. That means we're close.
It's a 3-plater today.
A 3-plater? Oh. It's not you. You're just over there minding your business. That's what they all say. What's my favorite Ukrainian food to eat? Probably... Probably, what is it called? Nalesnike? Is like the... what can we say? Like soft dough that is wrapped around a ball of dill cottage cheese. So you wrap the dough around the dill cottage cheese and then you put it in a pot. You stack all your dough. I think that's how you do it. I forget how we even made it because we made it before on stream. Or you put it in a pan and then you pour like
Can be removed.
you pour cream over that and then bake it. So it's like this creamy baked dill thing. Oh, it's the best. Samo says the tri-tip can be removed. Whatever this means. Let's look.
You're at 135.
We're at 135, he says. Look at the smoke ring, you guys. So just a little bit under the broiler and we're good to go. Yeah, like a dumpling, I guess I should have said. Baklava? I will try and type the word in chat. No. Nalesnike. That's good. Smoky, garlicky, herby, salty. Let me see if I can type this real quick. Something along those lines. I don't know the actual proper Ukrainian spelling. Yeah, you guys are the dogs. Just staring at the back of my head. That's what I feel right now. Baklava? Oh my god, you guys. Okay, let's lift this. Poke the potatoes. Holy, the wind is building up. Oh, that's even the timer that I had on them for 7 minutes. I think they can go a little bit longer. A little bit more cooked. I just turned up the burner again a bit. 5 more moments on those, and we'll finish bringing them together. Tri-tips are gonna rest out now. This is fat side?
Yep.
Or underside?
No, that's it. You put that side down.
I put it fat side down?
You did?
Oh shit. I guess I cooked them fat side down. I mean, that it kind of makes its own grill marks, I guess. Grill marks. There you go, guys. That's how the tri-tip ended up coming out. Cooked it to medium internal. Those will rest. Couple moments before we do a little sear on the fat cap. You thought baklava was what I was trying to spell, but yeah, that's Greek. You guys got the tippy taps going. The impatient tippy tapping. Alright, so we'll need 3 plates. All these taters are finishing. Got some salads. We'll just plate it right on the plate. What's happening over there? I'm not quite there yet. I'm waiting for potatoes to cook. Listen here, backseater. I thought the tickets were already sold out for the peanut gallery. He's still up in the rafters somewhere over there. Oh man, they never leave, do they? Michael.
Did you leave in 9 days?
Yeah. Yeah, the peanut gallery is only around for 9 days, guys. We'll take advantage of it while it's here. Limited time only.
You wanted to stay an extra week?
Let's go, taters. Now we're going. That's how much a lid helps, guys. Samo backseat driver at our service, always. Except sometimes he calls me the front seat driver in real life driving. What?
You want to turn the burner? It takes a while to turn on.
No, I'm not going to until the potatoes are strained. I got a little bit of bubble in there to do still with them.
Yes,
Are we cooking Russian food today?
Ann.
I'm not Russian. Poke the potato. Those are tender. Let's check the other one too. Because we're gonna boil it again a little bit, guys, after we strain it. So you don't want it to be like falling apart like mashed potato. So that's good. We just don't want it crunchy. Of course you can have it. How if you haven't checked the pork quite yet? This is the first check. Nice. We can give Stream a report. What else do you need? I never had tongs. They're good. They're long gone. I don't know where you left them. Okay, we'll strain this up, guys, and then we're coming over to the burner again. Coming back. It's not like mashed potatoes where you can make them not on the stovetop. Okay. So we'll keep that burner on, like medium-low heat. Yes, it's gonna sizzle right when we put this back on. So this is where we come in with our butter cubes. And our cream we start with as well. So usually I kind of just mix this in first. Get the butter all melted and coated. And yeah, you might notice as you mix this, the potatoes will fall apart a bit. Don't worry, that's actually supposed to happen. We're just not making mashers. Oh, our little pork chunker is ready. And now we come in with our whipping cream. I think that was around half a cup or so for this amount of potatoes. Really good way to use up your cream that's gonna start to go bad. And now we're gonna wait for this to come up to a simmer and start reducing the cream and butter, and the potatoes will soak that up as that happens and get all nice and saucy. And then right before we serve is when we mix in the fresh dill. That's our little pork chunk, guys, that we're gonna cool and then shave for sandwiches. Costco has very good instant potatoes. Do they have Idaho brand? Because I've used that before. I often love to use those potato flakes to thicken soups when I was still working in the kitchen. And yeah, I kind of just toss these potatoes around as they're heating up with the cream and butter. Almost glaze them. Whoa. Those are some insane pork pieces. That looks juicy. Oh, it's just called Real Spuds brand. I don't know if I've seen that one here in Canada. Sometimes they switch out a few brands though, depending on what's available at the time. Yum. And then once we get the dill in there, we'll taste for seasoning on the potatoes, guys. Can you switch back to here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will do it because your hands are dirty. We're in the pot. That's how it should be. So the cream will slowly get thickened. It doesn't take long, about 5 minutes. And that's why we don't overcook the potatoes too much first, is because there's a lot of mixing here. I'm gonna turn that off now. Let's get it in pretty thick. Don't want to burn the cream. Now we'll do our fresh dill, a lot. Don't be scared. Get that coated. Like, look at that. Now we're gonna try it. I need one more plate still. I'm okay, thanks. I'm gonna eat everything after. I'm just really warm right now. Hi, my name is Kate. I'm warm. These are seriously the best potatoes ever, guys. If you like creamy, dilly things. Mmm. Mmm. Need a little bit more salt and pepper. Remember, we only salted the water so far for the taters. And that is honestly it, you guys. It's good with seafood, chicken, pork, beef. It's vegetarian on its own. Almost like a warm potato salad, but there's no mayo involved. There's just butter and cream. So then you obviously have to think, when this cools down, you can't like serve it as a potato salad because it gets quite hard, right, when butter is cold. One more taste of this little nugget. Mmm. Just to season the richness of the cream. Needed that bit of salt. You could also do a touch of lemon as well to brighten up the flavor. But that is it. And now you can turn on the boiler. Those are good to just sit. High heat. We're just gonna broil these right on the sheet pan that they're on currently, and then we can take them off onto the cutting board afterwards. And then while we're waiting, I'll get our salad items out. And we are there, guys. Wayne, you like beets like how we like beets? Okay. Nice, Samuel. I'm gonna switch this camera. Thanks for posting that, Mishi. What do I want to do? Maybe just come over here. I'm actually shocked that I found a potato recipe for exactly what I usually make, because I have not been able to find that in the past. So I mean, someone lived a life like mine. And they said, where are all the dilly potato recipes? Like, the first time I made it for Sam, I just called them dilly potatoes. Is that gonna be too tall for the broiler? It might be. Just getting my oven rack at the right point. I don't want the fat to be touching it and burning. But you do want to go as close as possible. Let's go like that. And I usually just keep the oven door popped open so we can listen for the sizzles. Okay, so we're gonna do some slicing of the tri-tip after this. Plate up the salad and the taters. We're good to go. I always post the recipes every week. And then we also have recipes from other community members that they have shared. Whether they made them or want me to make them. It's just an awesome place. Like, there's over 6.5 years worth of menus and recipes in our Discord channel. So crazy. So crazy to think. And now, putting the tri-tips in under the broiler, they've rested a little bit. Probably a good like 15 minutes while we were doing the other stuff. So that after we sear them, we can directly slice into them. Winning. Oops. Oopsies. Organizing. Guys, I'm getting rid of the other camera so that we can... Oh yeah, because you guys tried the pork?
Yeah.
We'll make a little video for the gram today of our yummy summertime foods. I can hear some sizzling. Sizzle sounds. Do not go anywhere. You see it. Yeah, it says Ukrainian. I know. I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually the Ukrainian dill potatoes that I grew up on. He did more than try it. There was heavy sampling. You gotta try it. Let me make sure it's good. And we're sharing. Yeah, had to eat my piece. So you're saying the enchiladas are gonna be good tomorrow?
Oh.
Because that's what's coming out of that.
No, that's sandwiches.
For the small one, but the bigger piece
Better than that.
is gonna be enchiladas. I don't really know what kind of browning we'll get here, guys, but let's see. Let us see. It's working. Starting to smell really yummy.
It was cooked with the brisket.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the pellets that we used in the Traeger, guys, is called the brisket blend. So what is that as far as woods? Do they specify?
It's on the bag.
It says on the bag. I'm not digging in the garbage. We're not digging in the garbage. Sizzle, sizzle. Heavy on the oak.
Heavy on the oak.
Probably why it got such a nice smoke ring on it too.
Yeah.
Does oak wood give some of the best smoke ring? Hi, Kat. We got Katniss coming in, guys, for 22 months in a row. We're almost at 2 full years together. How's your weekend? How's your 4th of July week going? Let's see what's happening here in the oven first thing. Okay, we're going a little bit more for searing, but my god, that looks good. It looks good. Coast Red Oak gives some of the best smoke ring bonk. I mean, it even has red in the name. So there's that. We're no garbage diggers. We're just gold diggers. Oh, yeah, I think that's good. Off with the oven. I need a Sambo, please, for helping to transfer the meat onto the cutting board. You donated some blood this morning, Kat, to make up for everyone who blew their fingers off on the 4th. The fireworks injuries. I appreciate you, Kat. I mean, I may or may not have seen my brother almost do that. I remember this. It can be dangerous really quick and very scary. There's a reason why trained professionals do it, but look at this. Like how I bring it in, it's like dark, and then it opens up. This is where we're at, guys. I would say that looks pretty dang amazing for what we used today. My pit master's coming, just wait. Just wait, everyone. Use your fork there. We're just gonna do, what, the small one today? The other one we're not gonna slice until it's rested and cooled. Okay, so are we gonna slice right into it?
You're slicing it, yeah?
You want me to slice it?
Or you want me to
Sam's the slicer. Are you looking at where the muscles separate? Yeah. So guys, in the tri-tip, there's 2 different muscles. Basically, we treat it like a brisket, I would say. So you're just separating the 2 muscles because they have to be sliced at different angles against the grain, right? That's the most important part of making big pieces of meat like this, is determining which way they need to be sliced. So this was a tri-tip cat. We did it on the Traeger, holy shit, the cook on that. We did it at 200 Fahrenheit. Or what are we even at now for time? Like 2.5 hours it took only? Or if I got a little out for now. And then I just seared it under the broiler. I didn't feel like lighting a fire in the Traeger. But I think it turned out really good, guys. Like, holy, the low and slow, right? You're not gonna get that gray ring on the exterior of the meat as much compared to if you did it hot and fast that way. And yeah, it's nice if you kind of slice bite-sized pieces like how he's doing, so you don't have to cut it up as much. Off of the plate. But I've had it cooked both ways, hot and fast and low and slow, and both ways are good. Like I'm reminiscing back, Bonk, to Oceanside. When we went to the street market, the nighttime food market there with Tabatai cooking. And we got a tri-tip sandwich where it was cooked over the red oak, just directly over the wood, over the fire. And wow. It does look really rare on the camera, like it looks so dang red, but if we go more to here, it's definitely more like mid-rare medium up on the edge. And you also have to think of like where it tapers out, right? The thinner pieces are gonna get cooked more, whereas like the really internal side is gonna stay more rare. I just want a little chunk from this piece. And yeah, because we cooked it on the smoker as well, there's gonna be that really red ring. Whoa. That might be one of the best I've ever had. Whoa. Like the beef flavor, texture, smoke flavor. I don't know if we want to... Is it already leaking?
Almost.
Run! Oh god! I don't have any more. We'll use this red one. We'll just use the red towel for the blood. I just pour that back in the pan if it's possible. Is it possible?
Too late now.
You've waited too long. What if we take some of the big pieces off that are leaking? Guys, if I open this up, you'll see what I'm trying to avoid here is this. We're going over. She can't hold, Captain. Bob, help. Bonk's mouth is watering. Bob says, please close it. Oh my god, what is wrong with you? Can we not? Pop. They're telling Sam. Pop. They say don't. Okay, crisis averted to an extent. Yeah, we already had this caveman. See what happens, Bonk? You go from slightly domesticated to just completely undomesticated. In 27-day period. It doesn't take long. You really gotta watch them. You felt that move. Like, I knew he was gonna do it. Okay. We'll make the boys' plates, and then we'll make mine. Do this pretty quickly. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Okay, we'll do one in the center there.
Like how it looks.
Oh, just how the two plates were on my view. That's all. Alright, we're gonna start quick with the salad because there's not a ton of components to this. So we massaged the kale earlier with some of the dressing, and then we just have some nice butter leaf greens for a bed for the beets. So divide that into 3. I think that looks pretty good. Put that on the other plate. Now we'll come in with our marinated beets. Pop, pop. They're really cheering us on here for this plating. Good bunch of beets piled up. Yum. Toot! I also agree. What are we going on about out there? I'm gonna do just a little bit of the dressing, guys, first before we put the cheese so it doesn't get covered. The beets are good for your hemoglobin. I was saying they have antioxidants, Kat. You got the good antioxidants. Which I guess same thing, right? That's what antioxidants do. They clean you up. You could be like Bonk, though. Like, I feel like some people have a dirt beet gene. Kind of like how people have a soap cilantro gene. That's what I tell myself, at least. Ate like beets? What does this mean, Mary? You dislike beets, but you love cilantro, Cat? So the genes are not one and the same. And yeah, we're gonna put a good amount of feta on there, because why not? Mish would be happy. Greek is allergic to beets, so then he really should never be fed them. Noted. Noted on the Greek front. Okay, last thing. These yummy yum taters. I'm just gonna mix them on the side here. Ugh. Literally so good. Oh my god. Look at that pile. Ah! No! We lost the pile on the side. Did you guys see it? I'll have to clean it up after. They're saucy. Pick up the potatoes. Okay, we're good. Crisis averted. Slightly. All right, last one. The meatus. You like your meat cooked a bit longer, so more like this side then? Boston? More like medium than rare? I usually give everyone a mix of both, because that's just usually how the tri-tip cooks. Because the skinnier end is always going to cook more, and then the center cuts are always going to be a bit more rare. But it is awesome to make for other people, right? Kind of feed everyone from one piece of meat. Might need a little bit more sliced. Guys. Close up on everything. These taters, though, are seriously, like, look at the glaze on there. I don't think you guys need knives at all. You're welcome. My little plate. It's an appropriate amount of pink bonk. Okay, I think we need a little bit more, because look, this is all I have was the slim pickings. What do I want to slice off of? I think this piece looks really good. Yeah, my people. This is still like hot to the touch, this piece of meat. So good looking. All right, guys, I think that is it. Slide this in here. Just gonna rinse my hands a moment. That's what we ended up with. Simple, good food. You usually ask for a medium well. You'd probably make that happen with the tri-tip, I would say. The person would just slice it from the one end instead. Okay. Take a photo and we're good. There's also like different cuts of beef and meat you can cook to different temps. Because some are a lot chewier if you undercook them. Whereas other ones are actually better, like ribeye, it's more fatty, so you can cook it longer without it getting dried out. Tri-tip, I think, is pretty forgiving up until probably like medium well. It might start to get a bit chewy. Sometimes it also just depends on the animal that it came from. There's a lot of things involved. Hi, Hudaz. Okay. I'm gonna try this piece here of the meat that's a bit smaller. But you can also see like the texture of this is quite similar to brisket. They say it comes from around the inside of the sirloin, so more like around here where the brisket's like higher up by the shoulder. And those more internal muscles will have more beefy flavor. That's why brisket is quite beefy when you eat it, right? Like you really have to love beef. Otherwise it can be overwhelming. Same with the tri tip as well. Same with chuck. Comes from the same area, which is why chuck is so delicious. And yeah, all we used for seasoning on the tri tip as well as some of the pork today was this. Salt, pepper, garlic, parsley. And yeah, this is just some simple feta cheese over the beets. Get some tato in my life. Potatoes are good. Creamy, melt in your mouth, herby. This plate just reminds me of summer for sure. Summertime meal. Okay, and then the beet salad, almost like a palate cleanser. Got the feta, the fresh herbs, the beets. Nice and refreshing. Not too heavy. Thanks, Michael. That all together, really good too. And yeah, usually beets are really good with beef. Like dark colored things. Nice, someone's saying they like buffalo meat or bison. You eat a whole cereal bowl full of potato salad. This is actually a warm creamy potato dish. That's Ukrainian. Typically served around this time when you're getting the first harvest of potatoes as well as dill from the garden. It is so, so good. Yeah, if you guys want any of the recipes, here you go. I got nothing else to say. Yeah, it's served warm. I've also eaten it cold, like leftovers, but the butter and cream get a little bit hard. So it is better warm.
Cash money.
I'm gonna have one more piece. Show you guys how it cuts with a steak knife. Basically like butter too. Cash money from the 99. You heard that. The crust on that beef is insane. Just thinking about how good the leftover pieces shaved thin are gonna be on a sandwich. Yeah, oh. Smoked meat or smoked beef and pork sando. Hudas, I like that story. There are like lots of different variations, hey, of beet salad. Like one of the craziest ones was also goat cheese. This was at a restaurant where Sam and myself, and actually our roommate worked too, is we do like a puck basically of the goat cheese and then we crusted it in hemp hearts and then like pan fried that until it was crusty or crispy on the outside. So you get like the toasted hemp hearts and then the soft goat cheese. And you just put that on top of the salad right before you send it out. Oh my God, it was so good. And yeah, it's always good with like sour and sweet if you have nuts or seeds with the beets too. I kept it pretty simple today, just because I knew the beef would kind of take over everything, but everything also complemented itself on the dish, which is the most important. Yum! Sourdough with goat cheese, yes. Yeah, 'tis the season for like little crostini snacks and stuff like that. What else have I seen? Like blueberries and goat cheese crostini. If you guys like dill and cream and potatoes, definitely try that recipe. It's my favorite potato recipe for sure. Okay, I'm looking on Twitch who we're going to go raid. And we'll be back tomorrow, guys, cooking at 11 a.m. Pacific as well. There's like, is that just hair on my head? I think so. Like, looked like I had splotches. And we are making, so we got another chunk of pulled pork that's still smoking and cooking away. So we're going to pull that tomorrow and do homemade enchiladas with sauce even, which was really good. A nice, quick, and easy Sunday. Canadian food says nice things about the food next to it. It does. Thanks for being here, Kimmers. In California, your aunt worked at a restaurant called the Moose Cafe. They made a spring salad with fried chèvre and baked figs wrapped in bacon. That sounds so delicious. Even just the figs alone. Bye, Hudas. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Okay, where are we going? Let me look quick. Let me look. Okay, we went to see OG Pickle last week. We know Chaotic Good Mage. Is there anyone new? I also take suggestions. What the heck? That person's like cooking in a bathing suit. I hope they don't get hurt. I hope they don't get hurt, everyone. What? Is Chef Nagin in Germany, guys? I think we're gonna go see them. They're food streamers sometimes, and also, I think still the partner of Ice Cream Posse. I haven't talked to them in a bit, but this sounds fun. They're in Germany for Kartoffel, which also means potato. Chef Nagin, it's happening. You cook in a bathing suit every day? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna set this right up now. Chef Nagin. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, guys, 11 a.m. Pacific, making some pork enchiladas. Really good summer dish as well. Go check out Misha's channel online called Only Feta. And thanks for everything today, my wonderful people. Hopefully we inspired you, taught you how to cook better for yourself, or maybe even someone else, because sharing is caring. Thanks for the Bitleys, guys. I can't believe we finished our goal as well, 100% of the way through the bits for our riverboat IRL stream. So we'll keep you guys updated when that's gonna happen. And I think that's pretty much it. Stay safe out there. Thanks for all the long-term resubs, a couple of Bitleys, and all of our gifted subs as well. Maybe Stream Elements will work for us tomorrow. Yeah, let's go with that. Onlyfeta.com. That's the place. Okay, guys. Let's go see Chef Nagin, see what she's up to on this wonderful internet world. Love y'all. Stay safe out there, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye!